From chilling confessions to the craziest reactions, here are the best interrogation moments of 2024.
Oh, no! No! No!
This is 46-year-old Matthew Lewis Malacone, and he just witnessed a horrifying ordeal. Matthew had discovered that his wife, Kimberly, was having an affair with a man named Daniel Giannone. He lost control and stormed over to Daniel's house to confront him.
Get out of here! Stop it! Stay away from my wife! Stop it! Stop it! What are you here for? Stay away from my wife!
What followed was a violent rat chase.
Stop it, man! Stop it! Stop!
The confrontation quickly escalated into a full-blown gunfight between the two men. Alarmed by the chaos, one of Daniel's family members called 911, desperate to prevent a fatal tragedy.
Hello?
I need an officer here. Somebody just came shooting in my house.
Listen, hold on, listen.
But it was too late, and things had already taken a deadly turn. Someone was shot.
911, what is the address of the emergency? What is the address?
His house and he pulled out a gun. My wife's been shot.
Okay.
My wife's been shot.
Officers arrived at the scene within moments. Kimberly was rushed to the hospital for urgent medical care, while Matthew was taken into custody for questioning.
Is she okay?
I wasn't out there, sir. I've been here the whole time.
You can't find out for me?
The-
I told you we couldn't tell you, sir.
Oh my God. No. God, help her. God, please. She didn't deserve this. God, help her.
All right, here's what's going to happen.
Is she okay?
Matt,
Yeah.
if I unhandcuff you, you're going to behave yourself?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we don't have any issues there?
What?
When I unhandcuff you, I want you to have a seat, okay, partner?
Oh boy, it's not good.
No, it's not good, but...
Is she alive? Is she alive?
Hold on. Relax. Sit down.
Is my wife alive?
We're going to talk real quick here, okay? And your wife is Kimberly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Please. Please.
She didn't make it. She died.
Oh no! 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 Oh my God, no! No! Oh my God, no!
After the screaming and yelling, Matthew pulls himself together. You might expect the news to quell his anger and fill him with guilt, but that's not where Matthew's focus lies.
No! No! What just happened? Psycho! That oh my God! Did he make it? That's why my wife's dead, is because I'm a horrible shot! Is he alive? You can't answer that?
I mean, you told me you wanted your attorney. We can have a conversation if you'd like. It's up to you.
Now I learned that in CPL class. If a firearm's been discharged, wait for your attorney. I'll wait for my attorney.
Oh my God. She did nothing.
Matthew demands an attorney before he speaks, but he's impatient. Rather than waiting for the lawyer he asked for himself, he continues talking, possibly driven by his lingering anger.
Oh my God. Why would he do that? Like, she went there to talk to him, and this guy comes out like goddamn Rambo. Firing his shot. I had my hands in the air with no weapon. My clip was concealed, officer detective. My gun was in its holster and concealed. I was like this. And as I said, stop talking to my wife. And as soon as I finished wife, a shot went off. And she screamed and he did this. And as soon as he did this, I ducked behind that car. And then I grabbed my firearm and I came up over the hood and I just started shooting. I emptied two clips. I had to replace one. I don't even think I hit him.
How many rounds? Do you have any idea how many rounds?
No.
You said you replaced a clip. What kind of gun was it?
9mm.
Okay. Did you bring more than one gun or?
No, one gun.
Just one? Okay. And so tell me how this transpired today. You guys were at home when this conversation took place and you decided to leave, or how did that?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Like, how did you get on the topic? Like, what is this something that's been going on for a while? Like,
Oh, I found out about it again 45 days-ish ago. I knew about it, like I told you.
so like a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Matthew believes the affair had rekindled just a month and a half ago, but in reality, it had been going on for years. Unaware that the affair with Danielle had been going on for years, Matthew believed it was a recent betrayal. His emotions were understandable at this point in the story, but what he chose to do on July 12, 2022 would change his life forever.
And then I found out when she was 43. And we had a nice talk. Do you love me? Yes. Okay, come back to me. And I trusted her and I never looked at her phone. And then 6 years later, a friend says, hey man, I think your wife's still seeing that guy. Mm-hmm. So I confronted her and she didn't lie. She said, yeah, no, I have been. I'm sorry, And I said, well, baby, I can't go on like this. I can't be, your husband and you cheating.
Yeah.
So either you break it off this time, or if I hear about it again, we're getting divorced. So she said, I'll break it off. And I trusted her. And then that's when we got into the conversation, I guess today. I said, so how did you break it off? Oh, you never broke it off. You haven't seen him since February. You never told him, get lost, stop contacting me. We're breaking up.
Yeah.
Okay, then and she goes, no. I said, so what? You're just going to wait around for him to call again? Because he'll do that, just like he has been. And she goes, well, that makes sense. She goes, I'll break it off. And I said, all right. She goes, let's go now. I think it was 8:30 when we got there. It was light, or just getting dark, 9 o'clock maybe.
So it was her idea to drive to his house to break it off with you?
Yeah, she wanted to prove it to me,
It seems Matthew gave Kimberly many chances, only to be betrayed each time. He could have walked away, but perhaps this time he truly believed the affair would finally end. At this point, it seems like his anger is justified, but it's still too early to judge, especially since he brought a firearm with him, which doesn't work in his favor.
You guys
Break it off.
Were you guys drinking today?
Yeah.
Okay. How about drugs? Were you doing any drugs?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
A little.
Okay. So you're doing marijuana, doing some drinking, and you decide to go up there with her.
Yeah, I wasn't going to let her go alone.
And why was that?
Because his fiance cornered my wife about a year and a half ago. Followed her from our house to a Panera Bread and cornered her and threatened her.
I thought you said the fiance didn't know that they were
still hooking up. She knew that they were.
Oh.
She
okay.
doesn't know that they have still been hooking up.
Okay.
A private investigator was hired by this guy's fiance. He's just a scumbag. He's just always had affairs with married women. He's been through 3 or 4 fiancés.
Okay.
He's engaged right now, sleeping with my wife. Got a baby on the way with his fiance, and she doesn't know about that he's been sleeping with my wife and probably God knows who else, you know.
Danielle doesn't come across as an honest man, especially after learning about his affair with Kimberly. While Matthew did hurt him, Kimberly died in the process. Matthew's anger is understandable, but what truly happened that day needs to be fully understood before making any judgments. And the detective knows that this is a confusing event, at least at this moment.
And I was not looking to go shoot him.
After smoking, doing, drinking, you decide it's a good idea to go up there with your firearm and have your wife finally cut it off with the guy she's having an affair with.
I thought it was going to be easy, man. I thought it was going to be, hey, stop calling me. I'm done. And he was going to say, no problem. We were going to get in the car and fucking turn around and go home.
And you're saying your wife was driving and your wife was in that driver's seat every time you guys went to leave, went to do whatever. You're saying now that your wife was in the driver's seat.
Yes, she drove there and she got in the driver's seat and put it in reverse.
To back up.
Correct.
But the car wouldn't, what happened with the car?
I don't know if we hit something. It was smoking. Maybe he shot it. I don't know. It wouldn't move.
What do you mean you were, what is that?
I had it in reverse and it felt like it was stuck either in some mud.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going. And then it started smoking from the hood. And when I saw that, I got out of the car.
So it was like, was it like, you had it in gear, but you were stomping on the gas?
When Kim was shot, she fell over to the side. He's shooting at us at this point. I hop from the passenger into the driver, turn it, and it won't go. I got it, and I'm like this, you know? Mm-hmm. And it won't go. So then finally I put it in park and I get out and I go behind the vehicle and that's where I called you.
Okay. Honestly, I think you drove up there to fucking give him a what for.
No. That's not the truth. She drove up there because she wanted to show me that it was over. She goes, I'll go break it off with them right now. It'll take 2 seconds. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was getting shot at the time. What a fuck up. Oh my God. Oh my God. I had no idea. What the f***?
All right.
And this is the moment of revelation for him.
For blood in the garage or a bullet hole in the garage.
Yeah. Also the cameras.
Okay, there you go. Beautiful. We got cameras. He's got cameras? Does he?
I can't tell you on that.
Well, I hope he does. You'll look for those, correct?
We gather all the facts.
Okay, good.
Everybody's got a story, right, to tell.
I hope he's got cameras.
You know, the problem is that you drove up there in that driveway, and that started this whole chain of events, is the issue.
What's illegal about that?
Well, your wife's dead as a result of this decision to drive up to his driveway and decide to, whatever, confront him, break it off, however you want to word that.
Break it off.
Break it off, whatever.
That's what you wanted to do.
I understand. I'm just telling you. The decision making that took place to drive up there and do that after doing drinking. Now here we are.
God. Oh my God.
Do you have a neighbor or anything that's real close, that is close with your family, that one of your neighbors on either side or anything like that? Nothing.
No.
Matthew now realizes he's far from safe. Although it might seem like the officers are going easy on Danielle, who accidentally shot Kimberly, the law comes into play when someone enters another's property with a loaded weapon and threatens violence.
We are gathering. We got a lot of evidence to gather. So
They're at the house
we're going to be taking care of all that. They're processing the scene.
immediately, right?
But it's we're
Okay.
not leaving there until we get everything. I'll be right back with you. All right.
Oh my God. Oh my God, my wife is dead. Oh my God. No.
Further investigation revealed that Kimberly had sent nearly $60,000 in multiple payments to Danielle, intensifying Matthew's anger over the affair. Taking everything into account, officers concluded that Matthew's actions were premeditated, leading to charges of voluntary manslaughter, assault with intent to murder, and firearm use during a felony. On July 10, 2024, Matthew was sentenced to 7 to 15 years for manslaughter, 12 to 40 years for assault, and 6 years for firearm-related charges. It's tragic how an affair can destroy so many lives, and how decisions made under the influence of anger or intoxication can lead to disaster. Matthew became a victim of his own emotions and tragically lost the woman he loved in the process. This case serves as a stark reminder of how deeply personal choices can have irreversible consequences. So, what do you think about the case? Do you think justice was fully served by not punishing Danielle on the argument of self-defense? What do you think truly happened that day? Feel free to share your opinions. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh, God, help me. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was wrong.
Sure.
I'm so
Sure.
sorry.
Listen to me. Listen.
Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry, Lord. Forgive me, Father. I sinned.
The detectives were on the brink of uncovering Sherry Engel's betrayal of her husband, Fred Engel. This revelation would astonish them and expose the master manipulator concealed behind her tearful pleas for forgiveness. On April 21, 2008, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 52-year-old Sherry Engel rushed to the house of her next-door neighbors, Tommy and Karen Rickerson, in a panic, unable to find her husband, 52-year-old Fred Engel.
And Fred's wife, Sherry, was screaming and yelling. She was just frantic.
Tommy searched the neighborhood for Fred, but found no trace of him. Sherry then suggested checking the community mailboxes, explaining that Fred had taken their mailbox key with him. When they arrived, they saw blood on the floor and Fred's glasses lying on the ground near the mailboxes.
It was all woods in the back of the mailbox. And I was afraid that whoever did this might still be there.
They immediately called the authorities after making this shocking discovery.
When I arrived on scene, there were people sitting on their screened-in patios while we were out there. They watched it all. Everyone in the neighborhood was worried that something bad had happened to Fred.
Fred's mysterious disappearance left the community alarmed.
Everybody was scared. I mean, this actually frightened everybody.
Things would soon take a more sinister turn. On Tuesday, April 22, 2008, the police made a grim discovery in the woods, about 30 feet from the mailboxes.
The Bloodhound tracking team members were preparing to begin their search for Fred. And that's when we noticed the door to the mailbox was open. We had found blood and a pair of glasses. Someone had been drugged through this pool of blood. One of the team members saw something that caught his eye in the wood line. And when we illuminated that area with light, it was a dead body. There was a wound on the back of his head that was bleeding, and there was a shoelace that had been tied around his neck.
A local hospital pathologist testified that it took significant force to leave the shoestring marks on Fred's neck. He also noted a fresh head laceration likely caused by a blunt object and a defensive wound on Fred's finger from trying to pull the shoestring away. A forensic pathologist confirmed that Fred had been strangled to death. 4 days after Fred's murder, police discovered that Sherry had gone back to her hometown in Breckinridge County, Kentucky to be with her family. Before leaving, she handed over Fred's laptop and phone, including her own devices, to the officials.
I had found a block of phone calls and text messages between Sherry and a 502 area code, which came back to the Kentucky area. And there were phone calls that were made and received to this number during the time that she claimed she was asleep the night of Fred's murder. And that was a big alarm bell.
8 days after Fred's murder, detectives linked the cell phone number on Sherry's phone to a 40-year-old man named Timmy Rogers. Michael Graham, an expert in tracking cell phone activity, testified that on April 21, 2008, there were at least 14 calls and text messages between Sherry and Timmy. Only 2 calls were exchanged the next day, with contact significantly decreasing afterward.
I also had cellular data that showed Timmy Rogers' cell phone leaving a hotel in Myrtle Beach, traveling to the crime scene, traveling back to Kentucky at the exact same time that Sherry Engel decided to return back to Kentucky. All of these pieces of information coming together has just made Timmy Rogers the prime suspect in Fred Engel's murder.
The detectives promptly brought Timmy Rogers in for questioning.
You ever been to Myrtle Beach before?
Yes.
When'd you been there?
Well, actually, Sherry was helping me. She said there were plenty of jobs and stuff down there, so I went down there for a while and applied for jobs.
What kind of relationship you guys have?
She helps a lot, you know. She just talks to me when I get depressed and stuff, you know, from things.
You ever stayed at her house?
No.
If she's a good friend, why couldn't you stay with her?
Because she was married.
Timmy has no idea that the detectives are onto him.
When I asked him why he didn't stay with Sherry, I made a note. It seemed to panic Timmy. He even leaned forward to see if he could figure out exactly what I was writing down.
How often do you talk with Sherry on her cell phone and stuff?
Oh, gosh, just about once a day.
You guys kind of developed a relationship, friendship, really close?
Yeah, real close.
Does it go anything beyond that?
No, gosh, no.
You should.
Yeah, but she's been there for me all the time. I mean, she's been kind of my angel, you know. That's the way I always told her. I always looked at her as my guardian angel.
Why do you think that is?
Because she introduced me to the Bible and everything and learning the truth.
At this point, I had been conversational. I had tried to be his friend, and that hadn't gotten very good results. So now's the time to turn up the heat.
Do you know what exactly we're looking into, the reason we're here, the reason we brought you in? Don't have any idea.
You told me that, or somebody told me that was arrested for the murder of Fred Engel.
Yeah, that's why we're here. That's what we do. That's my case and Neil's case we've been looking into.
Okay.
Pretty much everything I've asked you to this point, I know the answer to.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Okay.
We've checked on everything that you told us we do. We do, you know, where your family was at. We knew that you graduated high school. You had a 17 son, divorced, you your life worked at Rough River. Okay. And we do all that. Okay. And the reason we do all that is it's important to establish something of a baseline with you so that we'll know if you're a truthful or honest person. Okay. Okay. We know you've been dealing with Sherry. You say she's been a close friend and supporter of you, and I don't question that for a bit. But I kind of feel like the relationship might have been a little more than that. Before you start shaking your head and telling me no, you have to understand how many people we've spoken to. Okay. Okay. And how many video surveillance tapes we've looked at. Okay. Okay. How many financial records we've looked at. Okay. The folks there, some of them had even had conversations with you at some point. We've got statements from them about those conversations and what we're about. We've gone through their security surveillance system, got some video footage of you. And on that video footage is Sherry. Sherry's there as well.
She came to visit, yeah.
Okay. On that video footage, the staff members there, they said they've seen you guys hugging and kissing, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we hug and kiss, yeah. No, I mean, not like that. But
well, that's not the way they explained it. The way they explained it, you guys were pretty much passionately embraced to the point where they thought they were going to have to ask you to get on up to your room if there's something happening in the hallway.
Oh, gosh. They probably looked that way because she was helping me.
She was helping you? How did she help you about hugging you and kissing?
Because that's what I needed.
Okay. Come on, Tim. I know the answers to the questions I'm going to ask you. Okay? You're not going to shoot me around on this stuff.
I know.
Okay? You knew, you've already stated in this conversation earlier, that she was a married woman.
Yes.
And you've been seen in public.
Yeah.
Kissing her and hugging her.
Yeah, and
in a manner that a normal person watching you would feel like you guys were romantically involved. And that's not all I've got. That's just where we're starting. Okay? So think long and hard about this.
However, Sherry has a completely different version of events to share.
I've got people in Kentucky, I've got people in South Carolina, I've got people in between that have seen you two together behaving like a couple. Okay? That's not coincidence, sir. Not coincidence at all. You've got to decide right now whether you're going to get on board with telling us exactly what the deal is on this. You got to tell us, Tim, because we ain't here to rub you down and push you down. We've got to find the truth, and we've got to do the best thing we can to help you do the best you can in the situation. Let me tell you, brother, at this minute, I can put you in jail for the rest of your life, and that's only the good part. There's more to it that can even be done about that. You know what that might be? You know what happens to people that murder other people?
Well, usually they go to prison for life or something.
There's other options too. Think about that for a minute.
Oh, gosh.
They do that in South Carolina.
Oh, gosh.
And at this point, I'm sitting on a mound. You know what this is? This is a mound of information that says that Timmy Rogers killed Fred Ingram.
Oh, gosh.
And you know what else? You know where Sherry's at right now? Where? She's at another facility. She's talking to another team of investigators from Horry County Police Department.
Okay.
Just imagine what she's saying.
Probably the same thing I am.
I don't think she is. We've already talked with them. Before you even got here, they had her at the jail talking with her.
If she tells the truth, I mean, that's what it is.
Timmy speaks highly of Sherry, not realizing she has no plans to return the favor in her account of the truth. And her truth will change the course of the story forever.
Okay.
Tell you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay. That's all we want.
I don't have the exact dates or times and everything, but approximately, this is May. March. Tim kept pushing me to leave my husband and everything. I wouldn't, and I didn't want to leave my husband. I loved my husband. And he thought it was awful because of the way that my husband treated me, being the European-style person he was, being Dutch. Since October of last year, he had worked at home, and I would take his breakfast up to him and serve him breakfast, coffee, go get the dishes, bring them down, take his lunch up to him. Timmy thought this was awful that I'd done this for him. And I kept telling him it wasn't bad. It was a wife's duty. And he said, I can't handle the way that he treats you. He treats you like a slave. No, I didn't feel like he treated me like a slave. So he kept on, and I kept sort of pushing him away, and trying to see him less and talk to him less, and telling him, you know, it's not the right thing to do. I wasn't raised like that. I know he wasn't raised like that, even though we both had bad childhoods. But anyway, he just got me to the point that I just broke. I said, well, just go ahead and do it if you want to do it.
You got any idea what time period that was? Time frame? Was it still in March or was it in April?
It was in April. It was that very day. That very day, March, April the 21st.
You said go ahead and do it. What do you mean by that?
There wasn't no stopping him.
I mean, what did
he say? Said, I'm going to do it for you, and I'm going to do it for me, and I'm going to do it for us.
When you say do it, though, I mean, what do you mean?
I didn't know at the time what he meant, sir, but now I do. He shot my husband. But you can also find it on my phone where I did call him. He said about like 1:30 in the morning or something, and I told him that you killed my husband. I can't believe you done. He said, I did it for you, and I did it for me, and I did it for us. But I said, you killed my husband. Then the next night, sitting down on the porch, he kept coming out to me, and I was very cold toward him. He said, are you angry with me? And I said, well, yes, you killed my husband. Well, I thought that's what you wanted me to do. I said, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't tell you to kill my husband. And then he sat down there and continued to tell me how he did it. He said that he parked the truck up, like my back porch is back here. Mm-hmm. You all been there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the parking area right here?
Yes, ma'am.
He said he parked his truck there and walked down there. He said when Fred got to the box, apparently mailing a letter, which I didn't know that he was mailing a letter, so I told Tim had told me this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he said, I said, he didn't hear you? He said, no. He said, I said, what'd you do? How'd you do it? What did you do? He said, shh, you're getting too loud. I said, tell me how you did this to him.
I think that she understood there was a possibility that Timmy could be providing all of the information about what had happened up to that point. And I think that panicked her. She trusted him enough to kill her husband, but she didn't trust him enough to not rat her out for murder.
Take your time.
He said, I hid in the bushes, and when he come up there and he was facing the mailboxes, he said, he walked up and stuck the gun to the back of his head and shot him. And then he just some kind of rope or something, a white thing, and drug him out in the woods.
Okay. Get your breath now.
Oh, God, help me. Oh,
deep breath, Sherry. Deep breath.
Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was wrong.
Sure.
I'm so
Sure.
sorry.
Listen to me. Listen.
Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry, Lord. Forgive me, Father. I sinned.
Sure.
I hear you, Neil.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Sherry is visibly falling apart, yet not a single tear falls from her eyes.
I'm not asking you fine. There's something still wrong. You still got all the phone calls back and forth between you. Tim wouldn't have pulled up, gone to the mailbox, and waited that night without knowing that Fred was going to come out. Someone had to have been in the house to get Fred to come out and say, go pay a bill or check the mail.
He was going to go. He was going to go mail them.
Let him finish.
Tim didn't come out every night that week and just sit there and wait and take a chance for Fred to come out. It didn't happen that way, honey. You were involved.
Yes, I was
those
involved.
phone calls were still involved. You had to communicate with him and said that he's coming.
I did.
Okay. You had Fred go to that mailbox, either check the mail or pay a bill.
No.
Did you call him when he left on his own and say he's on the way, or?
You come across with part of the truth. We need all of it.
I think so, yes.
You think so? What?
Yes.
Guess what?
Yes, I did call him.
Called Tim.
Yes.
And said what? Remember one
He's leaving.
Okay. To go to the mailbox.
I didn't say that. I just said he's leaving.
But Tim had to have known.
He probably, yeah.
He didn't come out the night before and just wait, and he wasn't planning to come the next night.
No, but he would drive. He would drive by and stuff like that.
That was the night that had been planned, especially if you're getting ready to go on a trip the next day.
That very night, that very day was when it was planned.
Okay. When did y'all plan to do it that night?
I actually didn't plan it. I didn't really think that he would do it.
Okay. When did you discuss it and say it may happen?
On them phone calls that you have on the paper.
Okay, so the calls that you said that you were under medication and you don't remember, you did place those calls, and that was
I placed them vaguely and remember them vaguely.
Okay.
I'm guilty.
You called her. Okay.
You're doing what you need to do.
I'm guilty.
I mean, but you called us back and it was a little bit off. We're just trying to make sure that we're 100%.
Well, we also have to solidify our case with Tim. I mean, he may not talk to us the way you are, so we got to be sure we have every detail just as spotless as it can be to go ahead and tell with him about it. Because he hasn't been honest with
I told him to go ahead and do whatever he wanted to do. He was going to do it anyway. That's
I'm
what
going
I
to jump
told
away
him.
from it.
Okay.
We're going to come back. Speaking of Tim, did you tell him to be forgetful, or is he naturally that way?
He's naturally that way.
So if he was to tell us he don't remember anything.
He blocks things out. He has ever since I knew him. He has done it since he was a child when his mother was stabbed. His sister had done some molestation to him, and she finally admitted it to him, and he had blocked it out until she had told him about it.
What's it take?
Things like that.
What's it take to bring something back to him? If he blocks it out.
Bring him in here.
No, we can't do that. We can't bring him here with you.
Okay, that night.
That's how you can get him to talk. I can tell him.
Yeah, I understand. Have you been in there to her house at night?
Not at night.
Okay.
You see, the best thing is when you tell the truth is always the same. You've told stories in here that have already caught you in lies. It's like you painted your truck 2 weeks ago. Well, you came back here a week ago.
You haven't been here for 2 weeks.
The hotel staff said that you had the truck in that same color as it was before you primed it. You haven't been here 2 weeks. But why all of a sudden to come paint your truck? I mean, my understanding, it looked better when it was the red or burgundy than it does with the primer gray. You were trying to hide something because your truck had been seen.
You knew you were seen in that neighborhood. You also knew that there was a state trooper that likely saw you because you flipped out. You drove by and the state trooper was doing a traffic stop and you slowed down to the point that cars almost drove around you because it freaked you out so bad.
You see this camera right here?
Uh-huh.
You know that there's one of those in every South Carolina Highway Patrol cars, and it films when a car is being stopped.
Okay.
You know that when cars pass, it's catching a wide spectrum, so it catches all that.
Okay.
You don't think your truck's on that tape when that car is being stopped?
I don't know when I drove by one.
You don't know. You know where you've been, sir. There's no question about that. You know where you've been. So do we. That's the thing why we're trying to establish.
Trying to give you an out, trying to get you to admit what's going on. We've got the tape of your car passing that car. Do you remember passing the trooper stopping the car on the road going to Sherry's house? One time when you
the day that I went, I don't know. I don't remember.
Is that the day you took the plastic?
I don't remember passing any trooper or nothing like that when I took.
Well, I mean, you went from doing a normal speed limit to slowing to about a crawl. The speed limit is 35, 45.
Slow down whenever you pass.
But when you passed it, you continued. You did 10, 20 miles per hour, something like that. You barely moved.
You turned left on Augusta Plantation Road. You went on into subdivision. You know why? Because the lady that saw you there was right behind you in your car, her car, in your truck. There ain't no shaking your head because this lady saw you there. Okay. That's not a question. It's not a debatable issue. It's a fact. Okay. She saw you pull in with your headlights off to the end of the road and back up across from the mailbox station. She saw it.
I don't understand.
She was worried because it was so suspicious. She almost called the police at that point.
Whatever Sherry promised you.
Whoever she saw, it wasn't me. I don't understand that.
As meek and mild as he may have been, he stuck to his story like a champ. He would not come off of it.
After more than 2 hours of interrogation, the detectives end their session with Timmy Rogers without a confession. Meanwhile, Sherry tries her best to manipulate the detectives, just as she's done with Timmy.
I questioned earlier, and you didn't understand me. You thought I said jewelry, but the jurors think they'll understand a little bit more now, hearing your side versus not hearing it earlier.
Neil,
even though it's not,
I'm still guilty, honey.
I know, but at least they see there's some remorse. They know that you're at least standing up and saying what.
I love my husband and he loved me, and I just lost
None of it brings him back.
No, nothing. It's unforgivable. I said, you know what, I meant that by him not being able to hug me and tell me he loved me and how he took care of me and done things for me and everything. And God, it's unforgivable. I just want to die. Just give me the death penalty. I don't care. I just know that I'm responsible. I don't know what else to say to you all. I'm guilty. I don't want a jury trial. I don't want nothing. Just bring the judge in here and let me tell him I'm guilty. Please. I just want to get it over with. I don't want to put my family through this. It is enough what I did. It's enough for my family and my children and my grandchildren. It's enough. Please, it's enough. I plead guilty. Oh, God. Forgive me, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm guilty. I don't want a trial. I don't want a lawyer. I want to be sentenced. And if it's a death penalty, I want it tomorrow.
Well, it's not
I don't want a layover. I don't want no 10 years layover. I don't want it. I'm guilty of my husband's death.
Do you think that you could have prevented his death?
No. I think eventually it would have happened anyway because he kept on and on and on and on and on.
But that night, you could have not sent him to the mailbox, right? You could have not told him to go check the mail.
Yeah.
And told him what was going on. And
yes.
So ultimately, if you think about it the way Neil has mentioned.
Yeah, the way Neil's putting it to me, yes, sir.
You could have kept him from.
I think, or he would have killed both of us. One or the other.
He loved you. He wasn't going to kill you.
I don't think he loves me.
He does.
I've never seen that kind of love. I know what love
is. In his mind, he loves you.
My husband loved me. I know my husband loved me, and I loved my husband. We didn't fight. We didn't quarrel. He traveled. I traveled with him. I've lived in foreign countries. I've spent a lot of time by myself.
To have her finally provide that information was such a relief. She essentially dispatched her own husband to his own death. And the only way I knew that for sure is Sherry Engel confessed to it.
How do you feel with yourself knowing that you had kind of helped arrange this?
Unforgivable. Unforgivable.
Sherry Engel testified that Timmy Rogers used threats and intimidation to force her into helping him kill her husband. She claimed Timmy also abused her physically and describing an incident where he abused her, tied her to a tree, duct taped her mouth, and left her there overnight, only returning the next day at noon. He came back and said, "Have you learned your lesson now?" Sherry testified. Fred Engel's brother, Rob Engel, told the court he didn't believe a word of Sherry's testimony. He reminded everyone that witnesses saw Sherry blowing kisses to Timmy Rogers during Fred's funeral. "When I was last here, I was sad. Now I'm angry," Rob said. "This isn't about her being sorry. In my opinion, she is the one responsible for my brother's death." In October 2010, Timmy Rogers was convicted of murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison. He appealed this decision in 2013, but the verdict stood. In December 2010, Circuit Court Judge Larry Hyman sentenced Sherry to 30 years for accessory before the fact of voluntary manslaughter. She must serve at least 85% of her sentence before being eligible for parole. "I hope you serve every day of that sentence," Judge Hyman said. In a tragic tale of deception and violence, the case of Sherry Engel and Timmy Rogers shows how far a web of lies can unravel. Despite Sherry's claims of coercion and abuse, the evidence pointed to a grim reality where she played a pivotal role in the murder of her husband, Fred Engel. With Timmy Rogers serving 35 years for murder and Sherry Engel sentenced to 30 years for her involvement, justice was served, leaving a community to grapple with the shocking betrayal.
Come on, see someone I wish I could see.
man you just saw is Kevin Eastman, who would go on to give the most terrible acting performance in the interrogation room. Or was Kevin just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? On February 16, 2020, he was arrested at a gas station in Kersey, Colorado, while fleeing from an alleged crime. A crime scene that was considered to be one of the most chilling ever in Greeley, Colorado, had been found a few days prior. Kevin said that he was running from his longtime girlfriend, Heather Frank. However, when he was arrested, Heather Frank was conveniently missing. What followed next was a series of events that were filled with deception and unexpected twists. Interrogation rooms are known to be intimidating and can significantly impact individuals. With that in mind, do these clips show a man creating drama, or do they reveal someone overwhelmed by a situation? Let's hear from one of Kevin's friends, who revealed a detail that would turn out to be crucial in solving the case.
He would tell me that they both drank a lot, but he would tell me that she would keep drinking throughout the night. And she would get violent with him. Okay. Like, they'd get into an argument and she'd hit on him.
Given the statement from Kevin's friend, do you think he was wrongfully arrested, or was he living a double life? Let's start from where it all began on Pingree Park Road. On February 10th, 2020, a snowplow operator in Pingree Park made a gruesome discovery and immediately called 911.
I'm on the Pingree Park Road at the Monument Gulch exit, and I have a dead body.
Okay, we'll get help on the way. Are you able to provide any details?
Well, there was a tree on fire, and I went up to put it out, and he's laying next to it.
Okay, and do you believe he's found any help?
Yeah, he's definitely passed away.
There's no indication that this guy was camping. There's no other personal property. He's face down next to a log. The tracks that we think might have been made by him or whoever was here.
11, I apologize. Sam 18's out of the room, confirming there was a campfire made, just doesn't look normal.
It does not look like this is an intentional campfire. So this does not look normal.
The scene was far from normal. The charred remains belonged to a man seemingly in their early 50s. There were several unanswered questions when the detective tried to uncover the reason this man's body was found burned and abandoned. As it would turn out, some chilling revelations would lead the investigation to Kevin. The detective begins questioning Kevin to understand his involvement in the case and his relationship with the crime he was arrested for. They start with basic, open-ended questions to encourage Kevin to share more information about himself. The detectives were in the interrogation room with Kevin on February 16, 2020. But how did they get there? 5 days prior to his arrest, a missing persons report was filed by 73-year-old Stanley Sessions on February 11, 2020. The report was for his 53-year-old son, Scott. As investigators painstakingly pieced together the clues, a trail of evidence began to emerge. Little did they know that DNA from a household item would unveil Scott's fate, while also leading them to the man now sitting nervously in the interrogation room. 5 days of relentless investigation exposed the victim's past and his chilling connection to this man. The burnt remains found in Pingree Park on February 10, 2020 were soon confirmed to belong to Scott Sessions. Scott had a gig scheduled for February 10, 2022. It was highly unlikely that Scott would miss one of his gigs.
They had a candlelight dinner theater Monday night, and Scott didn't show up. George called and he said, "Do you have any idea where he might be?" And I said, "No, that's the first I knew that there was something."
Because Scott was very dependable.
Oh my God. Yes. He would not miss a gig with he would not. It was his life.
Okay.
And he had finally succeeded.
His passion for music was well known to his friends and family, and his absence at such an event sparked concern. Stanley Sessions then reported him missing on February 11, 2022, unaware that his son's body had already been found just the day before in Pingree Park. When the detectives responded to the 911 call, they found a body that had been deliberately burned, wrapped in plastic, and tightly bound with duct tape. The autopsy revealed a horrific detail. Scott's throat had been slit with such force that it nearly decapitated him. Detectives realized that this was an act driven by pure rage. But why had Scott met with such a grim end? All he had in his mind was meeting Heather and having a quiet and comfortable evening. What the detectives were about to uncover would change the course of their investigation forever. Detectives searched Scott's home for clues to identify a motive for the killer. They analyzed his cell phone data to determine his last location. Initially, it yielded no leads. The breakthrough came when they accessed his Facebook Messenger account using passwords found at his home. Scott's final chat on the day he went missing was with a woman named Heather Frank. Heather was one of the primary suspects from the beginning. But to know where it all started, the detective dug in deeper and found out that it was at one of his shows where he met the free-spirited and charming Heather Frank. Heather was 48 years old when she met Scott. Heather Frank, a local waitress, was someone Scott had recently met and felt an instant connection. Thus, they started seeing each other casually. Heather was a mother of 3 boys and longed for a healthy companionship. On February 8th, Heather had texted Scott on Facebook Messenger and invited him over to her place. It was a fun conversation, and Scott had responded to her invitation with equal enthusiasm. According to their texts, Scott had gone over to Heather's home for a quiet and comfortable evening. But when Kevin was asked about Scott and Heather, he had a contradictory revelation.
Anyway, it came out that she had intimate relations with him.
Okay.
And that it wasn't like really... Oh, man. I'm trying to think of the right words, but...
Whatever claims Kevin made, it was clear at this point that something happened that night. It was the last time Scott spoke to his father, and it was the last time he was seen. Scott vanished that night without a trace, and his last communication had been with Heather, hinting at grim possibilities. Considering the Facebook chat, it seemed likely that Scott was at Heather's place. Tracing his phone, detectives got confirmation that it was indeed at Heather's. Police obtained cell phone records for Heather, and while doing so, they traced another cell phone to the same house. Guess whose cell phone it was? The same man sitting in the interrogation room, Kevin Eastman.
I went over to the house because I know that she gets too drunk, and I don't want her to lose her job.
Okay.
And I'm sure her car won't start if she's been drinking past a certain time, past 8 p.m. If she drinks past 8, she knows her car won't start. Then I've been with her on the phone in the past, and it's just easier to just go in there and make sure she's up and give her a ride.
And then you dry heaved a couple times in the sink?
Yeah, like 20.
Okay. So what room?
Was all fucking, I don't know what you call it.
Can you get the trash can?
Kevin and Heather had had an on and off relationship for 5 years. At the time of the incident, Kevin was supposed to be at his sister's place in Parachute, as Heather and him had broken up a few months ago, and Kevin was trying to move on once and for all. However, cell tower data confirmed Kevin and Heather had been with Scott in Heather's apartment on the night of February 8th, 2022. The next morning, when Scott's phone went silent, Heather and Kevin's phones traveled together towards Poudre Canyon in Pingree Park, where Scott's body was later discovered. Security cameras outside an amphitheater captured Eastman's car heading west up the canyon and returning within a 3-hour window. Cell phone data also indicated that Kevin and Heather returned to her apartment after leaving the canyon. This significant development occurred when detectives issued warrants for the arrest of Heather Frank and Kevin Eastman. To gather further evidence, investigators tracked their movements using vehicle-mounted GPS devices and placed a surveillance camera outside Heather's residence. On the evening of February 15th, Heather exited her apartment with Kevin close behind. She appeared unsteady as she entered the passenger seat of Kevin's car. As detectives prepared to arrest the couple, they tracked Kevin's vehicle across rural Colorado and saw it making several stops. Larimer County Lieutenant Donnie Robbins, who was monitoring Kevin's activities, suspected he might be disposing of crucial evidence. Robbins observed Kevin tending a large fire on the property belonging to a man named Troy Bonnell. Upon Kevin's arrival at a nearby gas station, he was promptly arrested, but Heather was nowhere to be found. However, investigators couldn't rule out the possibility that he dropped Heather off at one of the stops he made along the way. In the first hour of the interrogation, Kevin Eastman is asked about his lifestyle, his recent whereabouts, and his relationship with Heather Frank. Kevin conveniently puts forward a narrative that he cannot remember many things about his life due to an injury. He recalls his relationship with Heather as rough. He's able to mention a specific date from the past year, which he surprisingly remembers despite the alleged issue he faces with his memory. Let's find other instances like this from the interrogation. It's important to note here that detectives know far more about Kevin and his actions than he would ever want to reveal.
Hey Kevin, there's something else we know too.
Okay.
Saturday night, you, Heather, and Scott were all at Heather's house. We know that. Okay, so why don't you walk us through what happened?
Tell us what happened with Scott.
On Saturday night?
Yeah. Here's the thing, Kevin. I think that you want to tell me, all right, and you're struggling with getting over a speed bump. We already know that you were there with Scott at Heather's house. Saturday night, the 8th, at 7 o'clock, between 6 and 7 is when Scott got there, okay? You remember when I told you about they were having communications with each other? We know that you were there, that Heather was there, and that Scott was there, all right? This is not something that we can dispute, all right? And so what my purpose is right now is to help you get over that speed bump, okay? Because I know that you want to tell me what happened.
I think it was like before when she told me she had a date and she asked me to leave.
Okay.
And that's when I pawned her my phone for $100.
Okay.
Okay, tell us about being there with Scott.
Yeah, we know that you were there.
I don't remember anything.
Here's the thing,
Kevin. Dude named Scott.
Kevin repeatedly denies meeting Scott on the evening of February 8th, 2022, even though the detectives present evidence placing both him and Heather at the scene that night. He insists that he cannot remember. However, his story begins to unravel when he makes some conflicting claims about his feelings toward Heather. The detectives have evidence suggesting otherwise. Watch how they unmask him step by step.
You told us that you proposed to her. I mean, you feel very deeply for this woman.
I love her with all my heart.
I get that. And what you're telling us, there is no doubt that you love her more than anything. And loving a woman more than anything in this world. And, you know, it doesn't sound like she's toying with you, but intentionally. But for her,
it's not intentional.
But for her to go out and you know that she had intimate relations with Scott, that's like a, you know, not only sticking something in your chest, but it's twisting it too. I can imagine you feel pretty awful.
I'm pretty callous to it from all the years that it's been going on.
Well, you say you might be callous to it, but there's still something though that, if not, you know, making you feel bad, your pride. Okay?
Oh no, it's got nothing to do with pride, just my self-worth. It just makes me feel like, yeah, I try and be everything I can, and I still don't mean nothing to her.
So I'm sure that you do. Okay. So you're at this house with Heather, with Scott, the guy that you know she has slept with.
That would be awkward.
That would be very awkward. Tell us what happened there. I mean, you're with your person you proposed to a week later.
Right.
And Scott's there.
I don't even remember anybody named Scott.
Kevin claims to love Heather with all his heart, but his actions paint a different picture. The detectives have compelling evidence that exposes the contradictions in his claims, suggesting that Kevin is not the man he's portraying himself to be.
Amazing grace. see the moon sees someone I wish I could see.
She could be black and blue. And you have to understand, her and Kevin were together for a really long time. Their relationship was really good, and then it started getting crazy. Just some of the things that she would tell me is he wasn't. He was very physical. If they drank together, it would get extremely physical. So she started going to therapy. They both wanted to do couples therapy. That wasn't working. So, she would tell me that she would want to break up with him, but she was afraid that he wouldn't take it well.
Allie Noby is an old friend of Heather's. She was the manager of the restaurant where Heather worked as a waitress for years. She'd opened up to Allie multiple times about her tumultuous relationship with Kevin. When detectives were conducting the background check into Kevin and Heather, Allie had more to say about their disturbing equation. Heather was clearly in an abusive relationship, but it wasn't just Allie who spoke up.
Things got rocky. There was a couple times where she couldn't come to work, and she'd show up and I'd meet her outside.
Alexander McLaughlin, Heather's eldest son, also came forward with shocking revelations that helped the detectives understand the dynamic between Heather and Kevin better.
Tell me about your mom and Kevin's relationship.
Wild, I guess I would say. Like, in the beginning, when they first met, he's an alcoholic. My mom is pretty much an alcoholic too. They would get into a lot of fights. The first incident of him ever hurting her, he broke her wrist and tried to slit her throat. She told me it was a bar fight, but this was back in 2014, so 5-6 years ago.
And when you say he tried to slice her throat, how do you know that?
Because her throat had a scar, or not a scar, it was scabbed over, like he tried to cut her throat with a dull knife.
This wasn't the only time Kevin was violent with Heather. He repeatedly caused physical trauma to her. This time, it was a broken wrist and a scar on her throat. A couple of years later, it went a step further when Heather was hospitalized.
Okay, we'll turn the lights on. I just got assigned this call. You want to tell me what happened?
Just argument in the hotel room. Punches to the left side of my ribs. And I had to get out of there because it was going to hurt me worse. So I left.
Who did this to you?
Kevin Eastwood.
How many times did he punch you?
3 times. Just get away. Like he always does. This is the first time he's done this to me.
Kevin isn't the man he's pretending to be in the interrogation room, and the detectives see right through him thanks to the background details they've gathered. However, there are still clouds that shroud Heather's involvement in this case. While Kevin tries to act like the most caring partner, the detectives swiftly dismantle his deception. They've already pinpointed his triggers and will now use these to push his buttons. Watch as Kevin's facade begins to crack under their mounting pressure.
Kevin, are you covering for Heather?
Did Heather do something?
Was Heather defending herself against this guy? You went over there, she freaked out, there was a mess, and being the devoted partner you are to her,
you helped her, didn't you?
You cleaned up Heather's mess.
It's okay.
Well, I know that I should love her a lot, and now you guys got me worried because she didn't go to work today.
So you said 8 to 9 days ago you were at your sister's.
Yeah.
And then you drove from Parachute to, I'm assuming the Greeley area, because we haven't talked about any other areas except for Greeley.
I came over. I was really stressed out about the money and the finances and all that, and so then even being on my meds and everything, I drank. And my sister locked me up, changed the code on the door because she's got zero tolerance for that.
While Troy's property is being searched, Kevin continues to be questioned. The detective who arrested Kevin on February 16, 2022, had seen him burning something on Troy's property the day before and suspected it could be evidence linking him to Scott's murder. Determined to uncover the truth, they left no stone unturned. Then the detectives discovered something completely unexpected.
So here's the thing. I know it feels like I've been stalling for time here, and I have a little bit. Because sometimes I get information that I'm not allowed to share, and I gotta wait until they let me share it.
Okay.
So when they were doing the search warrant at your property, they did find a body.
What?
Yes, sir. And
where?
I'm not sure. Obviously, I wasn't there. I'm in here with you, but they also that they found a body out on your property. They believe it's a female, so obviously you know what we're thinking. That it's Heather. So that's like...
Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that shit?
I only heard about 2 breaks ago, and then I had to get my boss to authorize me to tell you.
I mean, you.
So that's just, you've been so patient with us, and I wanted to explain to you why this is extending, right?
Yeah, but I got nothing to do with this shit. I mean, I'm in the fucking I'm just motherfucker, man.
I could see if I was in your position, I'd be pissed too.
I don't deserve this shit.
I'm sure, kind of like you're beyond tired.
Yeah.
But hopefully that helps you to understand why I need your help. And
I'm telling you.
With me.
God damn, bro.
Yeah. So.
Where?
I
know my property
I
pretty
can work
well.
on finding out a little more information on that outside somewhere. Beyond that, like I say, I literally don't know. I get little snippets of information, quick phone calls with the boss when I'm out of the room, right? So remember I said, my calling me. Yeah. Yes, sir. So let's.
Dude, I fucking.
So you know nothing about it?
No.
Okay. And I have no reason not to believe you.
Troy's reaction is obvious. He seems to be genuinely oblivious to the things Kevin did on his property. Kevin's reaction when he is spoken to about this incident is very disturbing.
We told you we have new developments.
She gets in the front seat of your car. You put something in the back seat. You get in the car. She doesn't get out. No, hold on a second. We're watching this real quick, okay?
Well, I was just going to show you.
Hold on a second. No, we're watching this. Okay, that's your car. And you drive away. And you want to know what this tells us? What we know is that you drove away with Heather last night and she never returned to your house, or to her house. And that we had a tracker on your car and we tracked you going out to the house out in Weld County, the farm where the barn is, where the burn pit is, that you were tending to this morning.
Right.
Okay? And we found Heather. And Heather is in the same condition that Scott is.
No way.
It's time to start talking.
This is the time that you need to talk. If you're not going to tell us the truth, then this conversation is over. Okay? So this is your chance, Kevin. Look at me. This is your chance. There's another new development. Troy, who was out at the farm this morning, is currently in contact with Weld County Sheriff's Office investigators, and he is talking. This is your chance to get in front of what he's saying.
Tell us what happened the night Scott was killed.
Let's start there. No more games, Kevin. Tell us what happened. It's okay. Tell us. You can tell us. Troy's gonna start talking.
And that's okay. You guys go talk to him. He probably knows more than I do.
He what?
He probably doesn't know anything. I don't know, guys.
All right, Kevin. Heather's dead. You know she's dead. Scott's dead.
Heather can't be dead.
Based on the circumstantial evidence, Kevin Dean Eastman was arrested on February 16, 2022, after 6 long hours of interrogation and investigation. Detectives were able to acquire physical evidence and testimonials that pointed towards Kevin. Most of this evidence was circumstantial. Kevin and Shelley blamed Heather for Kevin's arrest. It's easy to accuse someone who's no longer alive to defend themselves. If Heather were still alive, many questions could have been answered. As Kevin and Shelley tried to avoid a jury trial, detectives combed through Troy's garage and his property to find something that would implicate Kevin as the sole responsible person for Scott and Heather's deaths. Fortunately, they were able to find a pair of trousers that had bloodstains on them. After running a DNA test, it was confirmed that the bloodstains were indeed from Scott Sessions. This was the final piece of evidence that was used in the trial. Kevin Eastman's conviction in the double homicide of Scott Sessions and Heather Frank was backed by an overwhelming amount of physical evidence presented to the jury during the 3-week trial. It was revealed that Kevin had a clear motive, eliminating Scott Sessions to remove his competition. Consumed by his obsession to be the only man in Heather Frank's life, Kevin attacked Scott when he entered Heather's property on February 8, 2020. Later, he killed Heather to silence the witness to his first murder. On July 20th, 2022, Kevin was sentenced to 2 life terms, plus an additional 27 years. He is currently serving his sentence at the Fremont Correctional Facility.
So the court has considered the verdicts of the jury. The court has considered the statements that were made by family members and friends today. Listening to everybody, what comes to mind immediately is that there were 2 direct victims in this case, but there were dozens of indirect victims of the loss of these 2 lives, as demonstrated by many of your statements today. So to say there was 2 victims is certainly an understatement. There were dozens of victims based on the actions of Mr. Eastman. I also don't want to have the focus on what this court has to say, because I don't want to minimize what the victims and family and friends have said today. But what I will say, Mr. Eastman, is that you are going to spend the rest of your natural life in prison based on your vicious acts of violence, jealousy, and control, and the taking of 2 precious lives, and thereafter disposing of their deceased bodies in such a disrespectful manner. That's why you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
The tragic tale of Scott Sessions and Heather Frank's murders serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which obsession can drive a person. Kevin Eastman's story, marked by jealousy and a desperate need for control, ended with a heavy price. 2 lives lost and his own future confined within prison walls. As we reflect on this case, we're left pondering the devastating impact of unchecked emotions and the dark paths they can lead us down. What other lives could have been saved if warning signs were heeded sooner? And how can one prevent such tragedies from unfolding in their own communities? The search for these answers continues as we strive to learn from the shadows of this haunting narrative.
Y'all leaving?
Yeah, we're leaving again.
No, I'm not done talking. Fine, asshole. I was actually trying to talk. Y'all so pissing me off. Y'all pissing me
Well, if that doesn't qualify as a standout performance, then we're all out of definitions. The interrogation of this Kentucky woman is one of the most crazy interrogations one will watch,
You've been charged with
where a horrendous crime was tried to be concealed under pretense.
She said, all right, well, what about murder? No, that's where I said, absolutely not. I would never help you with something like that.
crime that is heinous beyond imagination, involving a day-old baby. On April 13th, 2011, Shelley Lindsay dialed 911 in shock as her friend, 33 years old Kathy Coy, showed up, baby in hand, after giving birth while driving. Sounds wild, right? Well, the real nightmare was only just beginning. When the newborn child was finally taken to the hospital, doctors found some inconsistencies in Kathy's claim. Inconsistencies that were pointing out something horrific that this woman had committed. It was the newborn and the disturbing condition in which he was found that set the entire investigation in motion. The doctors uncovered something far more unsettling than they could have ever imagined.
I left the room and then went and looked at the placenta, and that's when I noticed that the placenta had a uterus, tubes, and ovaries attached to it. And when people deliver, only the placenta comes out, all the other stuff remains intact. So
when you seen that, what did you think?
It had to come from somebody else.
These spine-chilling inconsistencies are what brought the woman into the interrogation room. It became quite obvious that Kathy wasn't the mother of the newborn. What detectives didn't realize was that they were about to uncover something far darker than they ever expected. It was through this call with Dr. Sarah Mangold that detectives discovered the unsettling truth about the birth of this newborn.
If the mother was deceased, how long do you think it would take before the baby would have suffered or been in trouble?
If a mom codes and cardiac arrest and you do a C-section, you've got 5 minutes from the time of the cardiac arrest to get the baby out.
The detectives suspected the worst. Cutting a baby out along with the mother's vital organs would undoubtedly stop her heart. It wasn't just fatal for the mother, it put the baby's life in serious jeopardy as well. Now that they knew Kathy wasn't the mother and had uncovered the possibility of an unthinkable crime, detectives were desperate to track down the baby's biological mother. Detectives finally got a break when they uncovered a crucial clue in Kathy's Facebook Messenger, a thread that began unraveling the mystery of the baby's real mother. For weeks, Kathy had been messaging a woman named Janine Stice, pretending to be pregnant herself. Janine's daughter, Jamie, was a 21-year-old who was nearly 34 weeks pregnant when Kathy first reached out. In these messages, Kathy promised them access to a mysterious organization that supposedly provided childcare assistance to families and infants in need. She claimed to be a representative of this organization, possibly to get more close to the mother and daughter. But the day of the incident, Jamie was conveniently missing, and Kathy, interestingly, had no idea of her whereabouts. Detectives believed otherwise, though.
Please don't put a minute.
I won't. We'll make
That's why I got defensive.
All right, can we make a deal right now? Make a deal, right? Now listen to me. Make a deal.
Wait a minute, you're not going to threaten my kids no more?
No more. Come here. Make a deal. Listen to me. But you can't be raising your voice either. Okay?
Okay, but I don't want to to.
Do you understand? Let me just say this, Kathy. Do you understand? There's a lot of emotions going on here, okay?
Yes, I do. And now Jamie's missing, and I'm being blamed because she was pregnant. She was left at that house with Mike. He drives a black truck that always parked over to the side.
What, you were asking if Jamie was coming with them? Or was coming out, or what?
If Jamie was going to come out.
And go where? Why were you asking where Jamie was going?
Because Jamie wasn't in the way I left with her mama. She was asleep on the couch.
So you asked the men if Jamie was coming out?
Right.
Why?
Because I had her mama's key. Her mama gave me the keys, left the keys in my car, and I was supposed to give Jamie the key.
Okay. Alright. And then, so what did they say when you said, is Jamie coming out?
Everything. Jamie never even got up. I gave the keys to Mike to give to Jamie. They went back inside. Jamie was at the house, Mike was at the house.
How do you know
And
Jamie?
that other dude.
How do you know Jamie was at the house?
She was there when I left with.
Did you ever go back inside the house when you came back the second time?
Mike and the dude that he was supposed to be leaving to go to Scottsville with that was loading up one of these. Went inside the house.
After Dr. Sarah Mangold's shocking revelations, detectives knew exactly what they were up against. This wasn't just a mother in her 30s trying to help a family in need. It was someone far more dangerous. She was carrying a baby still attached to the vital organ of its real mother, and despite the gruesome truth, she was claiming to be the child's mother. They knew this interrogation wasn't going to be a cakewalk, and Kathy, with all her power, proved them just right. In fact, when detectives spoke to Kathy's mother, Janine, she was just as shocked by the possibilities.
You realize this is serious, right? Let me tell you something. This is real serious. This is about as serious as it gets, okay? Your daughter is real pregnant and missing. Let me let you know some other news. Kathy's not pregnant.
Kathy's not pregnant?
No. Now, you going to help us find your daughter?
Kathy Coy's not pregnant.
No.
Here's the deal. Kathy did not have a baby.
What?
Kathy has got somebody else's baby. You tracking with me?
She didn't have no baby with her today.
You ain't listening to me. Kathy did not have a baby.
Okay.
Jamie is missing.
Hey, she's pregnant.
Kathy did not have a baby.
Oh, my God.
Do you see where I'm coming from here?
Yes, sir. So what are we supposed to do? Nothing? Sit and wait? All the you hear about on TV, people stealing babies and all that? Yeah, surely not.
What Kathy failed to realize was that the detectives were not at all relying on her words just because they pushed her to come clean. There was an investigation going on in real time to the interrogation where each of Kathy's claims were cross-checked by people who she was involved with. And things didn't actually look that great for Kathy.
Well, tell me what your relationship with Jenny and Jamie is. How do you know Jenny and Jamie?
I met Jenny and Jamie. They sent me a request because I was Rebecca Johnson. I grew up as Rebecca Johnson's cousin.
How long have you known them?
A few months.
Did Jenny and Jamie think you were pregnant?
I met Jenny.
Did Jenny and Jamie think you were pregnant?
Yes.
Did you ever tell them different?
No, I did not.
Have you ever told anybody different that you weren't pregnant?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, if you're not aware of it, who is? Who have you told that you weren't pregnant? You told somebody you weren't pregnant, right?
I was just a couple of people that told y'all at the hospital in Assumption that my miscarriage of being hit in the stomach was this time.
So Lindsay, what's her name? Shelly Lindsay knows you weren't pregnant?
She knew I was, yes.
She knew you were pregnant, but did she know you had a miscarriage?
She told y'all that she realized that she thought I had a miscarriage because I had lost my baby belly at the hospital.
Right. But did you ever tell her that?
No, but she would call Shannon for me.
I know.
She called Shannon and played like the nurse.
Right.
With mounting evidence proving beyond a doubt that Kathy wasn't the biological mother of the newborn she claimed as her own, her admission seemed inevitable. But Kathy still believed it wasn't enough for detectives to incriminate her. She thought she could slip away unnoticed. Little did she know, there were others prepared to expose her even further.
So she had you act like the nurse, say we've changed the appointment date?
Yes, that was it. I did that once or twice.
Okay. Why did you do that?
She said that Shannon would be upset because at this time I still thought she was pregnant. I thought I knew her, but evidently I don't.
Just like Shelly, Janine, and Mike, Kathy was able to fool a lot of people and betrayed their trust. However, when the truth started surfacing, there was no one to save her from her own web of lies.
But we got to find what happened to Jamie too, and we got to find who that.
I would like to know what.
Okay.
Because she was at the house when I met.
Is that baby that you brought to the hospital going to be Jamie's?
No clue. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
How do you have no clue? How would this happen that you have no clue if it was Jamie's baby? What's it?
She was there when I was Janine. Why can I do with that? You know, I think she's still in the house and everything.
What are we gonna find in your car?
You ain't gonna find nothing but the blood from that thing.
You have that box coat
You're gonna
stuff?
find a white dog hair from my dog Champ.
What about in the trunk?
Huh?
Anything in the trunk?
In the trunk?
Yeah.
You're gonna find the baby stuff and everything.
Like what kind of baby stuff?
The car seat, a baby bag.
So you'd already bought all that stuff, right?
Where'd you buy that at?
Huh?
Where'd you buy that at?
When I buy the what?
Where did you buy those things at?
The car seat, the car seat was given to me. So the diaper bag we bought at Walmart
When?
back in December.
Who bought it with
I think
you?
it was the fever day when me and Shannon.
Who bought it? Who?
Me and Shannon, my husband.
Was Shannon real excited about you having a baby?
What did he have to say about what?
Was he real excited about you having that baby? Put a lot of pressure on you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Put a lot of pressure on you. You've been depressed too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the miscarriage.
How long has this been weighing on? You don't want to lose him.
Would you do about anything to keep him and your family together?
Despite Kathy's repeated claims that Jamie was perfectly fine the last time they met, she overlooked one glaring detail: the blood found in her car. DNA testing could lay bare the entire truth in an instant. Moreover, her obsessive fixation on being the mother to Shannon's child was a clear motive that detectives called out. When they confronted her with it, her reaction was all the confirmation they needed. It was clear that Kathy's actions were far from those of a stable mind.
Do what? Am I the person that did wrong here, Kathy? Who did something wrong today?
I bought a baby. I did something wrong.
You didn't just buy a baby.
You didn't buy it.
Yes,
You
I did.
arranged for the baby to be taken from her. Here's the question, why should we believe you now? You've been lying to us ever since I met you. Why should we believe you now? Honey, the only...
I'm a procrastinating liar.
Huh?
I'm a procrastinating liar.
Is that it?
So I've been told 1,000 times.
You've been told that you're a liar.
I'm a procrastinating liar.
Okay. So now that we got that on the table, we need to know where she's at.
Why do you keep moving?
Stop pushing that towards me.
Why?
Now I'm actually starting to get pissed off, okay?
Why?
It's not bothering me. Is that what you're thinking? It bothers me she's missing.
Yeah.
But I don't know where she's at.
You were the last one with her, honey. You were the last one with her. And you
I'm
keep
a
pushing
what?
away. You were the last one with her. You were the last one with her.
What do you think
I was not.
You were the last one with her.
What do you think the DNA testing is going to show?
Do what?
DNA testing. You know what DNA is? I'm sure you
Well,
like.
I know what a DNA test is.
Is Jamie's blood going to be in your car?
Do what?
Is Jamie's blood going to be in your car?
Oh no, the blood that's in my car is going to be from the placenta thing.
Is Jamie's blood going to be in your car? So there's not going to be Jamie's blood. Why are you yelling? I'm not yelling, sweetheart.
You keep asking me. I told you where the blood came from.
No, I'm asking, besides the placenta blood, is Jamie's blood going to be in your car? Because we're going to find it if it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that?
Is it going to be on the outside of your car?
Huh?
Is Jamie's blood going to be on the outside of your car anywhere? I can.
No.
Okay.
Inside of your car? Jamie's blood going to be on the inside of your car?
No.
Will
The
there
blood that's inside my car came from the placenta thing.
Will there be anything in your car that will have her blood on it?
No.
So where's her blood going to be? Jamie's blood.
I have no damn clue.
Why?
Y'all trying to pin a murder on me. You're trying to pin kidnapping on me.
Who said murder?
Kathy, who said murder?
You keep saying she's dead.
I don't know.
It's on this damn thing. You can't erase it.
She said she was. You said she was still kicking.
Yep.
That was your exact word. She was.
When I left her.
Where did you leave her?
No, hell.
Where did you leave her?
Yep.
You're not playing the
Where did you leave her?
If you want me to keep talking and give you all that
Where'd you-
information,
listen.
back the up now.
Let me ask you something. Calm down.
I was not the last person with her, okay?
Honey, you're going to have to give us more
Everything, okay?
We know why. Your family means more than anything.
Ashley knew that I was supposed to take her to Morgan Taylor.
Right. You know
Okay?
that, right?
She knew that, okay? I also told her, when we see today, she knew Jamie was pregnant, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She knew I had been hanging around with Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Giving Jamie money, giving Jenny money, giving Mike money.
And I'm telling y'all, it's one of these baby guys right here. This is the truth. She got a call with Ashley. Ashley was supposed to take her home, okay? Yeah. And then I went back over to Plano Road. I was terrified.
You were what? You were Plano Road first? Plano Road first?
When all else fails, suspects often resort to insanity tactics, hoping it'll save them. But the detectives didn't even flinch because this time they had a surprise of their own waiting for Kathy.
Then I went to your house, okay? Talk to your kids, talk to your husband.
Are they okay?
They're fine. They're fine. But they're concerned, okay? They want to know where Mama's at. They want to know what's going on with Mama, okay? They're concerned about you, but they're also concerned about what went on tonight, okay? They told me they was, and they don't want to get you in no trouble. But listen, honey, they want to help whoever baby this is, okay? They want to help them, and they did help us. You know how I found out whose baby this was?
How?
Your little boy got on your Facebook page, and he showed me who it was.
What began as support and empathy quickly spiraled into a nightmare for Kathy. Her own children, well aware of her intentions and capabilities, didn't hesitate to reveal the truth to detectives. What might seem like betrayal was in fact a raw display of the deep-seated fear they harbored toward their mother. Their testimonies were almost all that the detective needed to know.
Did she ever talk about being pregnant to you or about losing the baby?
About
the miscarriage?
Yeah, she said she had lots of babies and that she was thinking about kidnapping a baby. She asked me for help and I said definitely not. Then she said she was just playing around. She said she told me that because she said she trusted me and stuff. And that not to tell my dad.
What kind of help did she want you to do?
I think she said kind of knock a person out and then kind of take a baby.
Kathy's attempt to drag her own children into this horrific crime was nothing short of vile, revealing her complete disregard for those closest to her. She tried to lure her daughter into her twisted plan, and when the girl refused, Kathy ensured that Shannon was kept in the dark about the ugly truth. It almost seemed like she could jeopardize anything to make Shannon happy. But there was more in store for the detectives. Kathy's son had far more chilling details to share information that would send shivers down anyone's spine.
She said, just hypothetically, if I was to want to commit a crime, would you help me? And I asked her, I said, what kind of crime? She said, theft. If I was to rob something, would you help me? I said, probably not. That don't mean I'd turn you in. I probably would, but because you're my mother, I would hesitate. She said, all right, well, what about murder? No, I told her, I said, absolutely not. I would never help you with something like that.
Detectives felt a mix of emotions. On one hand, Kathy's son revealed something so horrific that no child should ever endure. On the other, they were relieved that her children hadn't followed in her footsteps. Now, detectives were certain Kathy had everything to do with Jamie's disappearance. Getting her to confess wouldn't be easy, though. As the questioning began, Kathy tried to play it smart with the classic trick to start with. Watch how detectives respond to the scene she tried pulling out.
You do care. I believe you do. You do care. If you didn't, listen, if you didn't care, you know what? You wouldn't have Kathy got that baby. That shows right there you care. But that shows you care. You done it because you care about Kathy. Don't you?
Cause she talked like this and she smiled all the time.
Last time I talked to her, she was crying because she was hurting so bad inside. because this happened. And because she knows that her children are down there with Shannon, and she knows that Jamie ain't gonna get to see her kid. Listen, you care about Kathy, and if you care anything about Kathy, which it's obvious she does, or you wouldn't, Ashley, you wouldn't have done this if you didn't care. You wouldn't have done this if you didn't care about Kathy.
I haven't seen him. You wanna know what it is?
Yeah.
But I'm stomping on your toes and stomping your ass.
You right. You right.
I'm glad.
Where's Jamie at? Where's Jamie at?
And being a bitch.
Tell us for Kathy. Tell us for Kathy where Jamie's at.
Another question.
Y'all keep asking me like I care.
I know you don't care, but Kathy does. Tell us for Kathy.
Y'all way picking me.
Just tell us for Kathy where Jamie's at.
Okay, just like the ones at the damn hospital, everything else I did, you don't piss me off.
I'm the only one that really knows you.
If you want Kathy, mate, boo-hoo, fucking shit. Okay, I'm in control. You can't do shit about it.
Kathy don't know what I want to know.
No, I do.
I know you do.
But who's going there for it?
Both of them. Both of you.
Hell no. I know where to go.
Both of you.
I know where to go.
If you care about Kathy and you want to see her get some help, listen. If you care about Kathy,
I swear he's the deaf one.
that happens.
I don't care.
I didn't ask you if you cared, but Kathy does.
You know what? I've been doing it. I've been acting so well. I had them fooled. I had everybody fooled that I was just one person, but that I had a temper problem. I had everybody fooled.
Yeah, except for me. Except for me.
How did you figure it out? How?
Kathy told me.
No, she didn't.
She did.
No, she didn't.
She did.
She don't want nobody to know. I know she didn't tell you.
She told me.
No, she didn't. Have you been in here the whole time?
Yeah.
She didn't tell him, did she?
Yeah.
And don't lie to me.
Kathy did.
Don't lie to me.
So tell them, Kathy. Tell us where.
Kathy would not. Damn. Y'all pay me for stupid.
I ain't playing you for stupid. Kathy is a lying that told on you is who she is, alright?
You can call her what you want.
So if you don't care, then you tell on her.
I don't care what the hell you think about me, what you think about me.
You already told us Kathy's the one that's going down, so let's put her down. If we're going to do it, let's do it right.
And once again, a classic display of terrible acting. Maybe it would have been halfway convincing that she was transformed into Ashley if detectives hadn't already had a mountain of evidence and testimonies against her. But with everything they knew, Kathy's performance was falling apart at the seams.
I don't give a fuck. See, the thing about me, I don't care who I pissed off. I don't care what you think about me, because probably what you think about me, the whole hell of a lot worse than one thing about you. I mean, I don't care. I don't need no goddamn body for one. Okay? Her damn little one is,
Ashley.
yeah, she needed. Shut up, Doctor, okay? I'm talking. Thank you very, very much.
Let me ask you a question.
Shut up!
Let me ask you a question.
No, shut up. Shut up.
Question.
Let me finish what I'm saying, and then you can talk, okay? Now, she goes what her husband says. She can't live without him. Okay? So they fight all the damn time. Okay? Their kids are smart asses and everything.
I am? I am. You're right.
Y'all leaving?
Yeah, we're gonna leave again.
No! I'm not done talking! Fine! I was actually trying to talk. Y'all so pissing me off!
Kathy pulled out all the stops, trying to convince detectives that she had a split personality and that they were now speaking with Ashley, her aggressive alter ego. According to her, this alter ego knew the entire truth, which she was saving Kathy from.
Can I tell you some information?
I'm trying to help you guys. I'm not just
Can you listen to me for just a minute? Okay. Let me tell you what I've got, okay? I've been doing this a long time. Okay? I want to help you. And I believe you want to help yourself.
I'm a psychiatrist.
No, I'm a state trooper.
No.
I know. Listen to me, sweet. Listen to me. I know you want to go home.
I do want to go home. Dude, my kids make me please. Yes, I do, please.
Okay. Help us. Help us help you. Okay? Now listen to me. Let me tell you what I've got. Okay? I've got your car out there. Okay? Got your Toyota out there.
That's my Toyota.
Yeah. And it's got Jamie's blood all in it. Okay?
It's from the person that
Listen to me. I've got her bloody fingerprints on it also.
Okay? What?
Bloody fingerprints. Jamie's bloody fingerprints.
Probably from where that I touched the placenta.
Jamie's prints.
Who?
Jamie's.
Jamie. Jamie? She was in the car?
Yeah.
She's been in the car. I took her with mom or something.
I've got her bloody fingerprints, okay? I've got her blood.
On my car?
On your car.
No.
Yeah, I do.
I didn't do it.
I just need to find her, okay? Whether you did it or not.
I don't know where she's at, hon. I'm telling you.
When you brought that little baby in to Miss Lindsay's house. It's okay. When you brought that little baby into Miss Lindsay's house.
Can I tell you this?
Yeah.
Do you believe me if I told you?
I'll try. Ashley's what? Ashley's not a person.
No, I think I'm
Don't what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you, sweetie.
I talk to them.
Okay.
Don't make me mad.
Don't make you mad. I don't want to make you mad.
But you think I'm so crazy, but she's gonna go home.
Listen, I promise you I'm not going to make you mad.
I belong in a psychiatric for what I do. I don't belong in jail.
With all the drama ensuing in the interrogation room, detectives decide to send a third detective who appeared to be more patient and calm with her, figuring out a way to get her confession out of compassion. But it was probably too late for Kathy as well, who was trying her level best to act her way out from this case with the classic excuse of insanity. But as detectives continued their investigation, they found out that not even Kathy's own mother found it surprising that she was in this situation.
I believe she's psychotic, and right now I believe the girl is possessed, because no human being could do what she did.
There was not a shred of doubt on what Kathy's mother revealed about Kathy. There were multiple signs, but what detectives could see through was her proactive attempts to conceal the truth with manipulation.
Let's do this together. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. You're at Shelly's house. Okay? You're walking up on the front door, and you have the baby in your hands. Okay?
Yeah, I have the baby.
Right. Now, let's go backwards in time. Okay, this will help you remember. Let's go backwards in time. Walk to your car. Okay. Where's your car?
Okay, go back to the car.
Where's your car?
My car is in the yard.
Right. Now, back out.
I dropped Shane in the yard because that first dinner was too heavy.
Right. Now back out and pull out of her car, out of her yard, and go back the way you came.
I'm at the barbecue pit.
Okay. Is Jamie there? Is Jamie there?
No, she's not there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Jamie wasn't bad choice.
Okay.
Jamie.
So the barbecue pit is on 185, right?
Jamie was on Louisville Road.
Okay. Where on Louisville Road is Jamie?
She's around the gas station.
Around the gas station. It's okay.
Hold on, she's trying.
It's coming.
She's trying.
She's trying because you're coming clean, sweetie.
Please don't. Back away. Oh, please. I don't will. Please.
You can do this. You can do it, sweetie. Fight through it. You're stronger than she is.
Get the toy back in room.
Which one you want?
Yeah, I want the toy one. You did it. You happy now? She begged you, don't let me out. Didn't she?
What gas station is she at?
Them kids don't work on me. You're not gonna get it out of her. Do you not realize that? You can tell all kinds of fucking shit. Let me tell you something. She's not gonna know nothing like that. I want her to know it.
She knows it.
She won't tell you. She knows she's going down for it. She's not gonna tell you.
There's nothing to go down for.
Oh, but she is. Oh, hello, smart.
Hello. You call?
Come on back in.
Talk to me. I can handle it. Can you?
Have you gotten anything yet? Huh? No! She's not gonna tell you shit.
They're out there on the little road.
Let me tell you something. I know how to kill
I know.
without there being a damn shit. You can keep on doing without what all you
Without there being a what now?
I know how to commit to
Before you hurt yourself, though.
Pick that up.
Before you hurt
Pick that
yourself.
up.
No.
Yes!
Before you hurt
Pick
yourself.
that up for me!
No. Talk nice to me, and I'll help you. Talk nice to me, and I'll talk nice to you. And
I'll throw it at you if I pick it up.
I don't care. You ever been charged with
Well,
the stuff?
you know that's her first dog.
I might. Just one more charge.
I don't give a fuck! What part of that don't you understand? I thought you gave up more.
I did. I'm done with you.
Hey, now that's why you keep coming back.
No, I'm done with you.
Hey, not.
The case officer, which is this fella right here, is
You're
fixing to bring up. You know how you said we can't do nothing? How we can't do nothing without the body?
That what?
We can't do anything without the body?
You can't do nothing if I don't tell you what you
This man right here is fixing to bring a citation in here for you for capital murder and kidnapping of this child and for this lady right here.
Who's falling for it? Who's going there?
You are.
No, I'm not.
So in order for you to help yourself right now, Ashley, if you... We're gonna charge you.
You're not the one figured out. You blame Kathy the whole fucking time. She knows where that everything.
But you know what? He's gonna be the one put you in prison. He's gonna be the one charge you. You know what's funny about it?
You charged me.
Stand up.
Charged me.
Stand up.
You charged me.
Turn around.
Fine. Cut me.
Oh, you're done. Oh, you're done. We can say bye-bye to your kids and everything else. Bye-bye to your kids and everything else. You're done. Yeah. You want to cooperate with us? You want to tell us where? Jamie's at?
Please take him out. We've been taking friends clear of my heart and no cut into my wind. I swear I will burn him. Please.
You're done. You're done. Have a seat. Get the truth. Have a seat. They're done with you. You're done. We're done playing. Let me tell you the bottom line. Let me tell you the bottom line here. Wait a second. Let me tell you the bottom line. You are a sorry. Okay? And you are in prison. You're
After hours of interrogating her, this Kentucky woman shamelessly tries to pretend till the last moment. In fact, the detective found a very significant lead from Kathy's daughter right after her arrest that incriminates her more.
Did you go with her to the flea market a couple weeks ago?
Yes. She bought a stun gun from the flea market, saying she was going to play around and use on my dad.
This taser gun might be the very one Kathy used to paralyze Jamie. This is a disturbing thought, especially given that she flaunted it in front of her own daughter. After her arrest, what seemed like a case without a closure soon changed for the detectives.
I tell you what, when we find Jamie, you better pray to God that she's alive.
They don't believe you, do they? You don't want to see what's out there.
I've seen a lot worse, sweetie. I've done this for 20 years. I've seen a lot worse. She's dead. I figured she was.
At last, the pieces were falling into place. With Kathy's confession, detectives were able to locate Jamie's body, shedding light on the haunting questions surrounding this case. Kathy had lured Jamie to a secluded spot, tased her, and then brutally removed the baby from her body. Tragically, Jamie was found exactly where Kathy had indicated, forcing the detectives to confront the horrifying truth behind her chilling confession. On March 1st, 2012, Kathy was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the brutal murder of pregnant Jamie Stice and for extracting her baby boy alive from her womb. Kathy pleaded guilty to avoid the death sentence. In the end, the unimaginable horror of this case left a single ray of hope. The baby named Isaiah survived. But Jamie's story serves as a chilling reminder of the hidden dangers in our lives, how easily our trust can be manipulated by those who blend seamlessly into our world. Kathy was the wolf dressed as one of the flock, gaining access to Jamie's life simply because she appeared to be a friend. It's a stark, unsettling truth. Sometimes the greatest threats come from those we'd never suspect. The people next door who, like Kathy, use our trust as a doorway to something far darker. What do you feel about this case?
All of a sudden, I got a God complex. Devil was just so real to me. I thought my mom was the devil at first.
Right.
And my sister was the devil. My family was the devil.
On December 28, 2015, the Peterborough police received a frantic 911 call from Lynn Witteveen, informing them about the horrific scene she was encountering at that moment. She was desperately begging for her life in front of 19-year-old Thomas Chan.
Hello? I'm being stabbed! Okay, what's your name? My name's Lynn, Thomas Chan, Andrew Chan. Okay, you said you were stabbed? Stabbed in the stomach, stabbed in the neck. Okay, who else is there? Hello? I just got a knife to my head. Who has a knife to your head? I'm dead.
Lynn Witteveen was Thomas Chan's father, Dr. Andrew Chan's partner. However, she was not the only one witnessing this horrendous crime. Thomas had already turned his rage on his father, brutally stabbing Andrew Chan to death mere moments before. This chilling incident raised many unanswered questions about how Thomas arrived at this moment. Detectives were about to plunge into the wild depths of a suspect's substance-fueled imagination, uncovering the dark secrets hidden inside his mind. As the true story gradually unravels, so does the twisted tale behind his deadly actions. But first, let's look back at that night, which changed the Chan family's life forever. Years after their split, Thomas Chan's parents had rebuilt their lives, each finding fresh beginnings and new love while co-parenting their children, Thomas and Christina. But an unforeseen disaster was waiting to twist their lives unimaginably. On the night of December 28, 2015, Thomas returned to his mother's home after watching an ice hockey game with his friends. after returning to his mother's home, he and his friends decided to consume some magic mushrooms. When the first dose seemed ineffective, Thomas took a few more to hasten its effects. Suddenly, the effects of the mushrooms hit him hard, and he began acting rather weirdly. His mother and sister tried to calm him, but unexpectedly, he took off his clothes and sprinted toward his father's home. There, he broke a window to get inside and attacked his father in a fit of rage, fatally stabbing him. When he couldn't find anyone else, he turned on his father's partner, Lynn Witteveen, gravely injuring her as well. But amidst the chaos, Lynn managed to call 911 moments before Christina, who had followed her brother with their mother, also dialed 911 to report the horrifying scene.
I'm at Haggis Drive. Right. My brother is being ridiculously aggressive right now. He broke someone's car window with a rock. Okay. He took mushrooms at 8 o'clock tonight, and I don't.
So somebody else from their girls just called in and said she was stabbed. Do you know anything about that?
Okay, he's at my dad's house and he's broken into the house. We're outside in a car, me and my mom.
Okay.
I can see him through the front window and he's sitting by the front door. I don't know if he has a weapon, but he's dangerous because he's attacked.
When the police arrived at the crime scene, they were confronted with a horrific sight. Sprays of blood spattered everywhere the eyes could see. Lynn, who was in critical condition, was urgently airlifted, and Thomas was promptly taken into custody.
I'd like for you to tell me what you were doing yesterday. What were you doing with your friends? And start from there and just tell me how this happened.
I was just having a regular night with my friends, and then we made a stupid decision to do
What was that?
take a hallucinogenic drug. And then, all of a sudden, I got a God complex. And I've never felt like that before. It's so stupid. So stupid. And then I thought that everyone was just turning on me. And I got scared. I ran to my dad's for help. In honesty.
Okay.
No one answered. Like I started hallucinating.
You started hallucinating?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Seeing close friends and family who tried to help, your faces start to be aggressive and sinister and devilish, and I felt like I felt like I was, I don't know how to explain it, I just felt like everyone was turning on me and everything like that. And I went to my dad's for help, and I wanted to get in. So I got in by any means. And then he came out. I just hallucinated even more, and his face just... And I thought he was coming after me. But he wasn't. But I thought he was at the time. Because of the stupid drug. I just thought people were turning on me, and they would never. And I know that now. And I should always know that. But the drug.
Yeah. When you got to the house and you couldn't get in, how did you get in?
Through a window.
What window? How did that happen?
Side of the window when it...
Sorry?
Where I broke in.
You broke in. Okay.
It was... I came in, lights were on, and then I just remember his face just turned and devilish. Same with all my closest friends, and my mom even.
Mm-hmm.
Their faces just turned devilish. Their hair started growing and turning black, and I was just so scared. It wouldn't do anything to hurt me ever.
Initially, Thomas seems hesitant, as if he's still processing the shock of everything that has transpired. However, once he starts to unburden himself, it's clear he feels liberated to share the complete story without restraint. In the following clip, he takes us back to the last time he saw his father, on the night when everything changed.
Do you remember what happened next? You thought he was turning on you. Do you remember what you did?
I know I had a knife. And from then on, it's kind of just a quick blur. It was me just acting as though I was fighting for my life. That's what it felt like.
So you thought throughout this that you were fighting for your life? Where'd you get the knife? Have you ever seen the knife before? Do you remember anything about that knife?
Well, I just know I grabbed the closest sharp object.
To protect yourself. Because you were hallucinating. Do you remember if your dad was saying anything?
Everything was just mumbles and murmurs. And it sounded like different languages. Everything.
Do you remember hitting your dad with a knife?
Like coming at him, but as soon as I came at him, everything just kind of blanks out. And I don't argue away at him. I just seeing his face, and it just wasn't his face. His eyes looked like they were all black. His hair was all black and growing on end. And everything, it's very similar. The hair was black. Very black. And the more scared I got, the longer the hair looked. And the darker it got. And like I said, all words sounded like not English. It sounded like chants or something. I just thought I was being chased. Everyone was being taken over by the devil. Something. I don't know how to describe it.
It's a pretty good way to describe it.
I just remember getting in, and then all of a sudden, he was there. Which scared me, because I didn't see where he came from. And then all of a sudden he was in front of me, saying something. I have no idea what he was saying. And it sounded like I said, chants and devilish, and the hair.
So you grabbed a knife, or a sharp object. Where were you at that point when you grabbed a sharp object?
Must have been in the kitchen.
Do you remember being in the kitchen?
No, all I see is his face.
Okay. Do you remember where you stabbed him?
No. It's so hard to explain.
With each word, Thomas's story unveils a series of shocking revelations, with each detail more outrageous than the last. The detective patiently listened to his confessions, knowing exactly how to extract the truth. Her calm persistence was the key. Without it, Thomas's reaction could have shifted entirely, forcing her to navigate the challenge of prying answers from an unwilling suspect. Determined to make sense of the chaos, the detective urges him to start over from the very beginning. As Thomas starts afresh, the fragments of his broken story begin to fall into place.
We should know what happened. I know that it's kind of coming in fragments, and I understand that. Because you were on drugs. Do you know what it was that you took?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. When did you take them?
Hours before. But they only started.
Hours before. Do you remember like a time?
No.
Where were you when you took them?
At my mother's house.
Okay. So, were you How were you feeling after you took them for the few hours after that?
I was good. I felt good. And then, this is how this whole God complex started. I was up in my room, alone at this point, meditating. And then I read about this thing called the familial gland.
Familial gland?
Yeah, something like that. And then I started seeing like bright lights and everything like that. And I've read about the familial gland before. And then I just started getting this God complex. And then everything started peaking after that. And then I remember going down into the basement. I don't know what happened in the basement of my mom's. But then all of a sudden I thought my friends were being taken over and I wanted the lights on.
Okay.
Because I felt like it was like protecting me. And when the lights were on.
What are you thinking about right now?
I think I was trying to protect the light switch.
When?
My father.
Okay, can you tell me more about that?
I was afraid that he was going to get the lights. I think. I don't know. I just felt this. I felt like I was acting like God, and I'm by no means religious at all.
Right.
But I felt like I was doing God's will or a spiritual thing and used the devil. So stupid.
Who do you think was turning on you?
Everybody.
Who's everybody?
Literally everyone. I thought everybody was turning on me. It was just... The drug made me feel like I was... almost like the second coming of Jesus or something like that. And they were the devil coming after me. That's what I felt like. That's the best way I could describe it. Which is stupid. I'm not religious.
But you were on drugs, right? And you were hallucinating. Have you ever hallucinated like that before?
No.
So you're in the kitchen with your dad. And his hair's growing black and his eyes are black. You can't understand what he's saying. And you're scared. Do you remember grabbing an object?
No.
You don't?
I just grabbed, I guess, the closest, nearest thing or anything. I don't know. I didn't know. I don't remember grabbing it. It's such a dark time. It's hard to piece it all together.
Do you remember when you first started attacking your dad? Was he attacking you? Was he trying to stop you?
I thought he was coming for the light switch. And I was afraid that he was going to turn it off. And then come after me, I think. Because I remember being afraid of the dark and being around people. Because in the dark, they would grab. Devil was just so real to me.
How did you stop him?
I guess I stabbed him. I don't remember stabbing him. I just remember going towards him, and then from then on, it's just kind of like...
So you remember going towards him. Where was he when you were going towards him? Where was he standing? Or was he sitting? Was he lying down?
I don't know.
Though Thomas couldn't recall every detail with certainty, his gestures hinted at a deep remorse. Yet, as the story gradually unraveled, his revelations grew more startling with each statement contradicting his own actions.
Do you know where Lynn was when you got there? If she was sleeping? I don't know if Lynn lives there, does she?
She's there most nights, yes. I love Lynn, too. She's been there my whole life.
I mean, like, in your mind, do you want to hurt Lynn?
No.
Are you remorseful that you hurt Lynn?
Yes. Yes.
Do you love her? So if you hadn't done drugs last night,
would this have happened?
yes.
No. I'm a good person.
Have you always been close to your dad?
Like, he was always busy with work when I was younger.
Right.
He was a doctor, right? And it only starts slowing down when you start becoming a senior doctor.
Right.
So, I would like to say he's always been there for me.
Yeah.
Like, my dad was approaching me, and I was by the light, and I felt threatened.
Mm-hmm.
And then I acted how I, at the time, felt was what I needed to do for my own safety, which doesn't make sense. And
it doesn't make sense sober, but when you're hallucinating, sure made total sense. Like right now, we can sit here and say, yeah, that makes no sense. But what you went through last night, you were hallucinating. You legitimately felt like he was threatening you. What did you, or do you even know what you thought he was going to do to you?
I thought that he was the devil, and like everybody was being taken over by the devil. 'Cause everybody I saw would fluctuate between like black hair and sinister, and then I just wanted to feel safe, and I didn't feel safe anywhere, and I don't know, I was hallucinating, and I blocked out the points that I don't want to visit.
Did you block out the points you want to visit, or do you not want to talk about them because they're horrible things that you don't want to think about?
I can't distinguish between the two right now.
You said that you saw Lynn's face as well. You saw her face. Her hair went black too.
That's all I know. That's all I see was Lynn's face, and black eyes, black hair, same thing, and just not English mumbling. I'm not a violent person.
I know.
I've never even been in a fight. And then after that, I remember being by the front door praying in the light, which I never do.
As Thomas recounts the unsettling events he experienced, his emotions overflow when he speaks of his father's death. The drugs distorted his perception, blurring the line between reality and imagination. However, a peculiar detail begins to emerge, something strange that demands to be unraveled.
I was threatened by everyone who I was around. I just felt threatened by them. And they were just coming after me. Though I'm sure they were just trying to help me. But at the time, it just felt like they were coming after me because they were working with the devil, and I don't know what I was thinking. It was stupid. I just felt like I was like the second coming of God or Jesus, and it was, I'm not religious. I wish my dad was still alive. Lynn's okay. I don't wish for my family to ever forget me. I don't deserve it.
You don't deserve for them to forgive you.
Bro, I killed Dad.
Who's, and I believe the name is Laura or Lori. Do you know somebody by that name?
Yeah, Laura. I do remember in the police car and all that.
Right.
I was just saying anything to get out of the police car because I thought that this is where it starts to get crazy because like this is where I started like coming down a little bit off the shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where like I'm still tripping
Right.
pretty heavily, but I can remember things. I don't remember how I got in the police car.
Okay.
I remember that I was in the police car, and then I closed my eyes,
Okay.
and I felt jostling and all this, and I was meditating again, which I think that's like where I went wrong, when I really started to get into my head and like really let things run.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I was in the dark and I would just sit there and feel some jostling. And then when I got here, I thought that everything was white and I thought I was in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I literally, was music playing when I was here? Is there music in?
There could have been music playing in the vehicles. I mean, they have radios.
Oh, I heard like gospel choir music, so I really emphasized like the feeling of being in heaven. And I was just.
Did you feel better when you got here? Because
Yes.
you thought you were in heaven?
Yes, I felt safe when I got here.
Thomas stumbled between reality and hallucinations, executing aimless tricks to mislead the police. However, he unwittingly exposed the turmoil going on within his mind. As the case drew closer to its conclusion, there were still fragments of the story Thomas hadn't shared. There were more details to be revealed that could unmask his true behavior. Now it was time for those final hidden details to come out.
I remember they're all my mom and my sister. I remember seeing their faces and they changed too. All I remember my serious trip, what really I really see is just faces. Everything else is kind of just, yeah, but I just see scary faces of my friends and family. And that's what sticks in my head. And when they would become more sinister, their faces would be, as I said, like veiny, and they'd get fat.
Does that happen with your mom as well?
Yes, and her hair was very, very, very black, and it started getting long and long, and then she just kept coming towards me and towards me.
Your mom did?
Yeah, trying to help me, and I know that now.
Right.
But it just made me scared, and I just remember their faces, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know for sure, obviously, but I'm pretty sure I called somebody the devil.
Okay.
And then I got scared and ran to my dad's because I thought that he would have helped me. And then I got there, and then his face was changing too, and everyone's face was changing.
Do you remember being on the driveway of your mom's house?
No.
And arguing with anybody?
I thought my mom was the devil at first.
Right.
And my sister was the devil. My family was the devil. And then I remember seeing Soren's face.
Right.
But I don't know what happened. I think did we get in an altercation?
It's my understanding, yes. Yeah. He's okay. He's okay.
It could have been anyone. It could have been anyone. It's not. It was just so dangerous.
Could it have been your mom?
It could have been anyone. It wasn't my preference. It was just me trying to get away from this devil that I thought. And I thought that I was taking over people. And I just remember being so scared. And then realizing that I couldn't do anything but fight. And I went to my dad's for help, and he started changing too. And I just remember faces were so scary, and hair and eyes black and everything. I can't take back what I did. Like, I don't know what. And I'm such deep shit, but
You should have been man enough to own up to it, though.
Yeah.
Thank your dad and deserve that. And your mom.
Yeah.
And your sister. And all your buddies. And Jeff.
I hate myself for what I did. Even though I wasn't in my right mind. But that's gotta come from somewhere, right? I can't be right. That can't be right. That shouldn't be right. The drugs and everything were just...
On December 6, 2018, Thomas Chan was found guilty of manslaughter and aggravated assault and was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. The Crown Council of Canada sought an 8-year sentence, while Chan's lawyer requested the court consider a 4 to 5 year prison term. Thomas stated that he was not criminally responsible for this horrific act, claiming he had a mental disorder at that time due to a mild traumatic brain injury sustained while playing rugby. However, the judge denied the defense and stated that it was Thomas's self-induced intoxication and not the disorder that led him to commit this crime. Supreme Court Justice Carrie Boswell wrote in a decision in 2018, "Mr. Chan is not a danger to the public. He's a good kid who got super high and did horrific things while experiencing a drug-induced psychosis. This is the heartbreaking outcome of an equally tragic case, but it is the result mandated by our laws." It's both fascinating and terrifying how our mind can become our greatest enemy when substances are involved, especially without supervision. This case compels us to confront the mysteries of the human mind, the devastating effects substances can have on our perception of reality, and how much our identity is shaped by the choices we make. We invite you to share your thoughts on this case.
Who's the real motherfucker in this bitch? Who's the real motherfucker in this bitch? Huh? Please, we gotta go.
On election night, November 8th, 2016, Anthony Galea kicked in the door of a home in the 400 block of Jefferson Street in Jackson, Mississippi, and fired multiple shots while live streaming on Facebook. However, the nightmare did not end there. Anthony shot and killed 26-year-old Brittany Southwell, who was holding her 7-month-old baby. So what drove him to commit such a horrendous act against a defenseless mother?
Look at, I smell bacon. Oh my God. There's bacon. They got somebody. You know what's funny? I could go over there right now and pop a pig in the head. I could go pop a pig in the head.
Anthony Galea was arrested that same night at approximately 9:06 p.m. A Michigan State police trooper and a Columbia Township police officer stopped him near Wheaton Road on Silver Lake Highway, where he had been driving around in a white SUV. The trooper found and removed a loaded handgun from the car.
Alright, I'm Detective Stanton. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Having a rough night, see? Horrible thing.
I don't even like my life. Thanks, stop. I don't like my life. No f***s, no laws, no nothing for me. I don't give a f***. I got one in the chamber right now. Stop. I have no problem. Baby, stop.
Anthony started the night at Ridgewood Vistas, an apartment complex in Leone Township where Ashley Boardman resided. Ashley, the ex-girlfriend of Anthony's younger brother Noah Gunther, was still infatuated with Noah. After his arrest, Anthony was immediately taken for an interrogation so the police could learn more about the events that led up to the shooting.
So, all right, tell me why you're here.
Honestly,
I mean, don't waste my time, please.
Yeah.
I mean, give me some respect here.
Yeah.
I got a job to do. I'm asking what happened tonight.
I got drunk off my ass. I don't ever drink.
Okay.
Ever.
At the time of his arrest, Anthony's blood alcohol content was 0.09, while the legal limit would have been 0.08.
You can share it with me. You just made me. She's gonna. She's got. Say something to me. I don't know what was left.
That'll wrong. I almost want to shoot this gun off right now. Almost.
Stop.
But almost isn't enough, right? Oh, there's a cop. I'm so scared.
From the apartment, Anthony, his girlfriend Amber Sager, and Ashley Boardman went to Stark's Party Store in Michigan Center, where Ashley purchased alcohol for all of them.
I drank a little too much, and I was getting persuaded. Ashley Boardman.
Persuaded to do what?
She stopped at the house. She was driving my car because I was intoxicated. Yeah.
So Ashley stops at the house with her car?
Yeah, because, no, my car. That Expedition is mine. I work for it.
So you were at the house, she pulls up.
I wasn't driving.
I know, I'm not worried about you driving.
Yeah.
So she had your car?
Yeah, she was driving. I had no clue where we were going. Okay. We went to, you know that little, like, there's a little white house? Mm-hmm. And then across from that, I don't know if it's Lucky's, bar, but there's like a little, I'd say like a liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's called Lucky's or whatever. My dad would be able to tell you if he called them. But we went there. She got me. Well, I paid for it, but she got me some Smirnoffs.
Okay.
And basically she went into the Tanners, and my girlfriend ended up having me chug them all.
Okay.
But that wasn't because she was trying to get me to do anything that I didn't want to or anything. It's because she wanted to get me hammered or whatever. I don't know.
Your girlfriend did?
Yeah, you know how that goes, like partying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really the one to party.
So Ashley's the one that comes over in your car. So you're at home, right? Ashley arrives in your car?
No, well, this is how it started. My mom kicked me out. My brother's
away a while ago.
Yeah. My brother basically broke up with my ex.
Your brother?
My brother broke up with Ashley Boardman.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
your brother's actually Ashley Boardman?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought it was fucked up because he just left her in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically what happened was me and my girlfriend Amber stayed with her and her sister Lindsay Boardman.
Mm-hmm.
And she lives in the Ridgewood Vista. Well, I showed up there after work, and then I was like, I want to drink tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like I got persuaded to do something I wasn't supposed to do.
Okay. And you think Ashley Boardman persuaded you to do this?
How
would you say she persuaded you to do this?
She just pulled up at the house and said Noah's in there.
Up in Jefferson?
I don't know where we were.
Up in the city?
In Jackson.
And who is Noah?
Noah's my little brother.
Noah's your little brother?
Yeah.
And he was dating Ashley?
Yeah.
Okay. What's Noah's last name?
Gunther, Guenther.
Noah Gunther. He's your little brother?
Yeah, he's my baby bro.
Okay, so take me back again. She pulls up. You guys first meet up at your house? I'm trying to get this.
No. We've been hanging out for a while because my mom kicked me out and left my ex.
Oh, so you've been with her for a while then?
Ashley?
Yes.
Well, it was me and Amber. Then Ashley said, "Hey, since your mom kicked me out or kicked you out, you can live with me and my sister for a little bit."
So you're living with Ashley?
No, I was living with Lindsay Nicole Boardman. Lindsay something Boardman.
Where's that at?
Ridgewood Vista.
Ashley, in her mid-20s, then drove them to Power's Party Store in Jackson to buy more alcohol before they proceeded to Pacific Tan on Northwest Avenue.
No, it's Ashley.
Ashley?
Ashley knows who. Ashley is majorly obsessed with my little brother.
Okay. Ashley
Boardman. Well, when I got drunk, Ashley was just constantly talking. Let's go over there. Let's go over there. Let's go over there.
Okay. So let me get this right. Just listen to what you're saying is that Ashley's upset with you're obsessed with Noah, right?
Oh yeah, majorly.
Noah's over there, okay, with another girl. And I'm guessing that's why Ashley wants to go over there, correct? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, but I didn't even know where the place was located.
No, but she does.
Oh, I didn't even know how she knew.
Okay.
It was just crazy. She's like, she just said, let's see if they're there.
Okay.
So
Well, obviously somebody knows where they are.
Yeah.
They just don't pick up a house on the city of Jackson.
Well, yeah, but I don't know how she knew. It was crazy.
Okay. So you go in there, you kick the door in. Obviously, to kick a door in, to go in, there's a reason.
Well, I knocked first.
Okay.
I did knock.
You knock, you kick the door in, okay, because nobody's coming to the door, right?
Well, all I heard was, oh, shit.
Okay. And who said that? Somebody from inside?
I think my ex.
So your ex, which is?
Amber, I don't know, she lied to me.
Amber Uphold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amber Uphold, because she told me her name was Amber White, and then I figured out she was married, so I ditched her.
So she says, oh shit, you think it's your ex. You go in, okay, you said you go down the basement right away?
No, I kicked the door open.
The front door?
Yeah, I kicked the door open, and then, basically I saw Amber run downstairs, and I didn't see anybody else. So I went downstairs to talk to Amber.
Okay.
Amber tried grabbing the gun from me.
Okay.
So I went like this, like I had the gun in this hand. I pushed her off the gun just so she wouldn't have the gun, because I don't trust her. So I pushed her off the gun. And then I seen the big dude shut the door. I didn't know if he had a gun, because this Anastasia girl threatened with, I don't know, 3 different Mexican dude names. Well, when she threatened me with them names, I figured that dude was the dude that she threatened me with. So I didn't know if he had a gun or not.
Okay.
But
why did we take a shot around the left? You said you took a shot into the door. Why did we do that?
Let's see this right here. Watch this. I got the game.
Anthony, stop! Anthony, stop it now! Stop! Stop! Hey! Get down! Hey, yo! Stop! Anthony! Oh my God, my dad's still in here! Anthony!
What's up? What's up? Who's the real motherfucker in this bitch? Who's the real motherfucker in this bitch? Huh?
Please, we gotta go.
ignorance.
Ignorance?
Pure
Trying to
ignorance.
scare somebody?
Dude, I fucked up, dude. I'm probably gonna go for 20 years or something.
No.
I mean, even if I did, you know, I do care, but you know, I probably deserve it, dude.
Nobody's dead or anything like that. Okay?
Alright.
So, felonious,
Felonious assault
probably.
of our. When I was 16 years old, I got that.
Well, that's your 16-year-old stuff goes away. Okay?
I don't know, dude.
I just need to know the truth, because I'm getting bits and pieces.
Well, no, I mean, I'm giving you the truth. I'm not lying to you. I wouldn't bullshit.
After you take this shot into the door of the bedroom, okay, you don't know if you hit anybody, right?
Oh, no, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Did anybody scream? Did anybody holler like they sound like they got hit?
No.
Okay, did you see anybody hit?
No.
Okay, and you said Ashley's in there with you, Ashley Boardman. So they all came.
I was only paying attention to me.
To you.
But I think Ashley was right behind me.
Okay.
Right behind me.
Okay.
My girlfriend, I think, stayed in the car.
So you go in there, you take a shot, you're not sure if you hit anybody. How many times did you shoot inside there? So I'm going to find the casings, that's why I asked.
Oh yeah, I know you guys are going to figure it all out either way, so.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. Probably.
Just get it off your chest, you're going to feel a lot better.
Well, I mean, I'm going to try to be sincere, but I really don't know. I was intoxicated. Bad.
Okay.
Can you guys, like, find my videos that I deleted? It was all on camera.
Is that on Facebook?
Oh, it's all on camera.
Okay. You have a phone?
Yeah, you guys probably have it.
Is it in the car?
Yeah, it was in the car.
Okay. Is it an Apple, Droid, what?
No, it's an Android.
Android, do you have a password to it?
There's no password.
No password? Okay. Color is it?
Blue. It's got a blue case on it anyway. It's gray without the case.
Case. Okay. All right. So, anyways, you go in there. You followed Ashley, your ex, down the basement. Okay. You she opens the door, or the door's already open.
No, Ashley's not my ex.
Well, Ashley uphold.
No, that's
Amber uphold.
Yeah.
So you follow her down there. She tries to take the gun from you.
Yeah, she tried to grab the gun from me.
And then you saw the big guy with tattoos all over him?
Yeah, and then I aimed it at him.
Okay.
And then
he shut the door?
He shut the door.
Did you shoot back into the door?
Yeah, but when I shot, I aimed away from where he was when he shut the door. I aimed towards the left.
Okay.
Like, towards the scene.
Okay. And why were, it's still kind of fuzzy of why. Okay? Why we're kicking doors in, why we're pulling guns. Just be straight. What was it all over?
I got really drunk off my ass.
I already know that.
And Ashley egging me.
Boardman?
Yeah, egging me.
She wanted you to go over there because she is obsessed with Noah.
Obsessed, bad.
And did she tell you to take the gun with you?
No, she didn't say none of that.
Okay. So she's obsessed with Noah. She wanted you to go over there for what reason?
I don't know. We went and got alcohol, and then she just showed up there.
So who's Brittany?
Brittany?
Yes.
Brittany. I don't know any.
Southwell?
Southwell.
That lives in there?
I have no clue who that is, honestly.
Okay. And so you go in there, you shoot, because that's the girl that got hit.
She got shot?
In the shoulder.
I don't know her.
You don't know her?
No.
So you didn't hear her say ow, ooh, anything like that?
No.
Did anybody say anything after the shot?
No.
Okay, then you turn around and you go out the house.
Honestly, dude, I don't know.
There's somebody in the house, somebody that was already in the house, gave us your name, car description, who you're with, and that's how they stopped you out on, was it?
Well, yeah, it's probably my mom.
No, I don't think it's your mom.
It could have been my dad, it could have been my brother.
So anyways, after you shoot, what happens from there? You just guys turn around and go get out?
Yeah, I got out of the house, yeah.
Okay. So is now Ashley followed behind you? Or, because you said she was standing behind you when you shot.
Honestly, dude, basically what happened is there's little visions. All I know is I did shoot when I went down there. I shot at the basement door.
Okay.
And then I came upstairs, shot at the floor.
Okay.
And then basically after that, I don't know.
Okay. So you guys eventually get back in the car.
Yeah, I don't know who followed me. I don't know nothing. I was so.
So you guys get in the car. You take off. Where were you planning on going?
Oh, I was gonna grab all my money out of my safe and head to Mexico.
Because you know you messed up.
Yeah, I f***ed up, dude. I wanted to go.
Okay.
I wanted to leave.
Okay. You're pretty sober right now.
Yeah.
You're talking pretty good. I give you a PBT. Make sure you're okay.
I'm buzzed though. If you were to give me a breathalyzer.
We'll get to that. But you cognizant of what you're telling me, right? You know what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay. You remember this.
Well,
you repeated your story about 4 times, same thing.
Yeah. Well, if I were to become sober or something, I'm probably not gonna remember shit.
Okay.
I mean, I'll remember a little bit, but I'm not gonna remember it all. You know.
We'll give you a PBT here in a second. To me, I don't smell any intoxicants coming from you. You're talking pretty clearly to me. You're repeating your story, the same thing. You're not garbled.
Yeah, I'm not lying to you. That's
I know.
true.
So that's kind of where we're at. That. All right. Hold tight. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll be right back. Hey, bud. This is Detective Kyle. He got a chance. Okay. He's gonna come in here. He wants to talk to you for a second. He got a chance to talk to your friends over there. Okay. Ready? And he's gonna jab their story up with yours, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he's a pretty good guy.
Man.
He was talking about something that your little brother was threatening you and stuff before that. And that's why
He threatened to kill me, anybody in the house that I was with. And I got little kids that were with me. I mean, I didn't take it as a threat because I knew he was going to do it.
You knew he wasn't going to do it. How old is he?
Brother's 17.
Okay, 2 years older than you.
But he's always been ignorant. I wasn't for sure he wasn't going to do it. Only because of the fact that he thinks that me and his ex, Ashley Boardman, were sleeping together.
Okay.
But it ain't true because I was with my girlfriend Amber, and there ain't no way in hell I'm going to mess with that.
Okay, so he threatened you, and that's why you guys had over there.
Well, he didn't threaten me specifically. He threatened me on my phone, on my Facebook, and I was in the shower, and so was my girlfriend Amber. So it was me and Amber in the shower. Ashley Boardman picked up, supposedly, and said that he threatened to kill all of us.
Okay.
Like he said, we're all done, bye-bye, and then he said, bye-bye, and I'm gonna die too, basically, is what he said. Like, bye-bye for me.
Okay.
I don't know, they got the messages if they showed you or not, I don't know, but I don't really care, that's them.
Okay.
But, so I stayed up all night, even though I had to work in the morning. I stayed up all night, and I had my pistol by me. Because
you're thinking, like,
if anybody walks in the door, I'm going to shoot him in their legs.
Mm-hmm.
If it's my little brother, I'm not going to shoot him in his head, I'm going to shoot him in his legs.
In the days leading up to the incident, Anthony allegedly received numerous threats from his brother Noah via Facebook Messenger and text for mistreating his ex-girlfriend Amber Uphold. This culminated in Anthony's kicking in the door of Southwell's home, where his brother was, and opening fire.
Basically, you know, because I wanted to protect myself.
Did you tell one of those girls that you shot somebody in the head?
Did I? No.
That's what they're telling Detective Styles. They said on the way over from the house.
I already know how you guys play your games. One said that.
Which one
said
said
that? It was
that?
probably Ashley Boardman. Because she's a lying motherfucker.
Okay.
And she's a manipulative liar, and that's why she's on felony probation, because she tried shooting him. She tried shooting when she was drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend went up, we were building a fort, and we didn't know where he went. She shot in a random direction. That's why she's on.
You guys are building a fort and she shot in a random direction?
Yeah, my buddy was gone, and we didn't know where he was. He was getting some brush because we were building a lean-to because it was windy.
Mm-hmm.
It was under a bridge, and we had a fire. We were trying to keep the fire going, so we built a lean-to. Well, he was going to get some brush, and she shot towards a random direction. I had no clue where my friend was. He was gathering brush. Well, that's why she's on what she's on right now, is because she was shooting random shots. Well, she shot one random shot off.
All right. So you go over there because your brother's actually threatening you, and that's why we're over there. I mean, that's what we didn't want to get to.
I didn't go over there because of shit. Ashley brought me over there, and I had no clue.
Okay.
Like, I didn't even know whose house it was. She said, that's where I think your brother is. Go in there. So I went in there, and
What you guys do? Why are you guys fighting?
I wasn't fighting with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
There was this Anastasia threatening me with 3 other dudes.
Okay.
And the one dude that was in there was the one dude that she was threatening me with.
Gotcha.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't even know who was in there. But I did pop a couple shots off because she said that whoever it was going to kill me. So I was just, I don't know. It was all f***ed up. I I'm drunk. I don't know what I did. It was ignorant. I regret what I did. You know what? I'm going to have to do the time. I'm going to do whatever I have to do.
Anthony, are you intoxicated right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, man.
I just blew a breathalyzer, didn't I?
Yeah.
My life sucks, dude. I hate my life. Why? I should have just fucking blew my brains out in that condition, dude.
Alright. Well, hang on, Anthony. We'll be back to that, alright?
Brittany Southwell died from a single gunshot wound shortly after being taken to Henry Ford Allegiance Health. Dr. Patrick Cho, the medical examiner who performed her autopsy, stated that the bullet entered the right side of her chest and exited through the left side. Brittany was a devoted stay-at-home mother whose love for her 3 children knew no bounds. Her life was dedicated to caring for her 8-year-old son, 6-year-old daughter, and 7-month-old son. Her fiance, Tyler McCravey, testified that he was at her side when Anthony Galea entered their home and began shooting. As Brittany lay dying on the basement floor, Tyler cradled her head, begging her not to leave him. She wasn't moving and she could barely breathe, Tyler recounted. I knew she was going to die. Tyler said he was no more than 6 feet away from the shooter, who missed him but struck Brittany instead. I don't know how he didn't hit me, Tyler said. I could see the bullet inside the chamber of the gun.
I just wanted you to know what a wonderful person she truly was. And she could really light up a room with her smile. And that this wound that we all feel is never going to be healed. Looking at her kids and just see the suffering in their eyes and just wanting their mom is something we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our life. I can't talk anymore.
What was your relationship to Brittany?
Brittany was my niece.
Go ahead.
She lived in my house. As mom, when our kids are growing up, we tell our kids that there's no such things as monsters. But with people like this in the world, Brittany's kids do believe in monsters now. They're growing up in separate homes without their mother. He ruined all of our lives. He took my mom's sunshine away. We have no holidays. My older sister was hurting so bad. She was her mother. I don't care if it was an accident. I don't care if there was 8 or 9 bullets. It takes one to kill somebody. And he had no right to take her from us. No right.
I never meant to hurt anybody. I deserve to do this time. I sincerely apologize for everything.
While you may not have known there was someone directly behind the door, you were aware there were people inside the home when you started shooting, Circuit Judge John McBain said during Anthony's sentencing on May 9, 2018.
First-degree premeditated murder, not guilty, and or first-degree felony murder, guilty. With respect to count number 2, first-degree home invasion, guilty, and count number 3, felony firearm, guilty. Go ahead and swear the jury and receive the verdict. From your families and your jobs, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to have
You will have a lifetime to reflect on the actions that took Brittany Southwell's life. You will spend the rest of your life in prison as a convicted murderer, said Judge John McBain. This story is a somber reminder of the devastating impact of violence and the lasting pain it inflicts on families. What are your thoughts on the case? If there are cases you'd like us to cover, do let us know in the comments down below.
You guys can make my life hell, you can't, whatever. It doesn't do nothing to me right now. My life's over. It doesn't matter. 1 charge or 1,000,000 charges, I'm open. So I want to hug my wife goodbye. I want to give her a kiss. I want to talk to her for a minute.
Can you take my word on it if I talk with him?
No, I'm not going to confess to nothing until I.
I understand that. Will you take my word that I'll get you a hug?
This man is Zachary Borton, who shamelessly blackmailed the two detectives and yet succeeded. In exchange for a confession, he demands to be pampered with hugs from his wife and pizza. Why was Zachary allowed to get away with it? And what else will he get out of the detectives? This is only the beginning of the things Zachary can get. On August 22nd, 2021, at 4 a.m. in the morning, two residents of Grass Lake Township, Florida, heard gunshots at a close distance. After that, at 5:50 a.m., a woman coming from her work sees two bodies laying in front of a home. She immediately calls 911.
Jackson 911.
Yes, someone shot up our house or something. I don't know. They both look dead. I don't. There's the front doors shot out and one's on the ground, and I think the other one's in the living room on the ground.
Okay, so hang on just a minute. Somebody shot your door, and there's somebody laying on the ground.
It looks like it. Yes, it looks like they're dead. I'm not sure.
On police's arrival, the originally reported two victims had multiple gunshot wounds, and to make matters worse, there was another body. The three victims were identified as Michael Pauley, 70, Delmar Fraley, 80, and Edmund John Counselor, 70, all members of a biking gang. Police also found many casings of .40 caliber bullets. It did not take a lot of investigation before everyone pointed to Zachary Borton's name. He had shot the victims and fled the scene using Counselor's vehicle. A manhunt was arranged. Meanwhile, Zachary Borton had fled to Grand Rapids, where he contacted an old friend. However, this friend was certain that Zachary was running from a crime and had immediately called the police. Zachary was brought in for questioning.
If you want to move that and set your feet up for a hot second, go ahead. Okay? We'll be back with you in a second, okay? But you're not hurt?
No.
Can you go to the bathroom? You need water or anything right now?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll wait a little bit. Close. Zachary.
Yeah.
Hi, Zach. I'm Brian. Nice to meet you.
You guys need something, just let us know, okay?
I'm a detective from Jackson County. So I just want to talk to you a little bit, just to get your side of the story. I always know there's two sides of every story.
The first thought upon seeing the interrogation is that there is an obvious power dynamic at play here. It's hard to ignore that the detective's body, posture, or presence can easily be labeled as frail and unimpressive. Zachary has also picked up on this almost immediately, and he will take advantage of the same. With any other interrogator, he may not have been so demanding, but lucky for him, he can ask for anything today. He's already made himself comfortable.
I'll have to get Grand Rapids to cooperate in that.
They're the ones that told her that if she could get me to come in cooperatively, that they would let us hug.
Well, that sounds like that's something we can accomplish. Okay. So before I ask you anything, I do want to read your Miranda rights. Okay. Just want to let you know what your rights are.
Yeah.
What would you like me to call you?
I'm Zach. My name's Zach.
Zach, work?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to call me Brian, I'd appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. Zach, you have the right to remain silent.
One good thing the detective has managed to do is create an impeccable rapport with Zachary. It's true that Zachary will exploit the polite demeanor of the detective to get things done in his way, but Detective Brian has truly managed to create a safe environment here. Zachary seems like the kind of person who can hold out to immense authoritative pressure, but a more respectful and less assertive detective surely made him comfortable enough that he ended up giving a confession. Either way, the first request Zachary has is a big hug from his wife, or there will be no confession.
Given these rights in mind, are you agreeing with talking to me today?
Yeah, as long as I get to see my wife. I mean, I'm not going to talk.
I'll do it as long as Grand Rapids cooperates with that. I have no issue.
All right, I'm not going to talk until I hug her, though, because I know how that goes. Like, I mean, she could say, you could say, I can try to do whatever I can. You already got statements.
Well, where is she at right now?
She's in Grand Rapids, not too far from me.
Okay.
we talked. So, I mean, the detective, or not, I don't know if it was an officer that was sent by the detective, told her that they can make sure that we can hug and we can say bye to each other and stuff.
Can you take my word on it if I talk with him?
No, I'm not going to confess to nothing until
I understand that. Will you take my word that I'll get you a hug and get you to talk to her if I can get them to agree to it? I don't know that I can get her right this second here.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not going to, I mean, how does that work? I mean, you can say anything, I mean, but, you know what I mean? It's not, that's like we're at a standoff because, like, I can say anything and then it's like, oh, well, I tried. Or they said they were going to, but this, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing that's important to me is I know my life's over.
Okay.
So I want to hug my wife goodbye. I want to give her a kiss. I want to talk to her for a minute. And they already said I could do that. Okay. That was one of the reasons I came in cooperatively. Okay. So, I mean, I just want that. And once that's fulfilled, so I know we're not, like, I'm not being bullshit because that's already been told to me. My wife's not going to lie. They said that I can hug you and see you with that.
I totally 100% believe that, and I totally will tell you that I would let you do that.
Well, I mean, I believe you would. I'm just saying, I don't think much.
Let me see if I can get that arranged.
All right, thank you.
It's ironic to hear Zachary say that he came here cooperatively, given that the police had to organize a manhunt for him. He also fled to another county to escape arrest. But overall, he looks really nervous at this point. The importance of him seeing his wife is not understated at all. This is all he speaks about, and his body language also points to him being very eager yet nervous about it. At this point, he's probably just nervous about her reaction.
Hi.
Hey.
You were just talking to him, right? I'm Detective Zabriskie. I work for the Grand Rapids Police Department. Okay. I understand you want to talk to a young lady. Is that correct? Which young lady? Common law wife, married wife?
No, we're married.
You're legally married.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
I can tell you this. His partner and my partner, one of the guys that was already spoken to her today, is on their way there.
Okay.
Okay? But you know it's not like we're just going to go across the street to McDonald's. Right?
Oh, no, I know.
It's going to be a minute.
All right.
Okay? So they're on their way.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything to lie to you, right? I mean, they literally just left, and so I just texted them. When they get there, they're gonna see if she's willing to come here.
All right.
Okay, that's where that's at.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, can we talk?
I mean, I'll answer a few questions, let you guys know I'm not bullshit, but I'm not gonna get a confession or tell you guys everything.
That's fine.
And as soon as she gets here, as soon as they get him, she gets here, he'll bring her in. Even if we're no matter where we're at the questioning.
Well, I'm not gonna answer some of these questions. You know what I mean? I have nothing. You guys gotta realize this, and I'm just being 100. That's all I am. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. I keep it shoot. I'm a straight shooter. You guys can make my life hell. You can't. Whatever. It doesn't do nothing to me right now. My life's over. You understand?
Why do you feel your life's over?
Listen, I'm not answering that question. Okay. I know my wife's over with. So all I'm saying is there's one thing I want because I won't be able to touch my wife again is to give my wife a hug and talk to her. That's all. That's the only thing that's grounded me for this whole little process I've been going through. And then I had no problem going back until a year from now and telling you every little thing I've done and didn't do. It doesn't matter. One charge or a million charges, I'm over.
What's up?
It seems like they're still working on it. Go ahead.
Whether you guys charge me with one charge and I'm found guilty of it, or I get found guilty of 50 charges, it's the same amount of time, it's the same amount of time for me. So it makes me no difference. It has to stealing a candy bar from Myers or to killing something. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same amount of time in prison. See what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted you guys to realize.
Got a text, like I told you, says, we'll see if she wants to come in. They're on their way there now.
Okay.
So only thing Brian was thinking and that we were thinking is, we're going to send somebody there. They're already on their way. As soon as they get there, we'll have an answer. If she says no, what do you want me to do?
She's not going to say no.
Okay.
But if she does, then I guess she needs to tell me that I can call her.
Well, we can do it over the phone.
We can do it over the phone.
You can't hug her over the phone, but
that's right. That's the only thing that's important. You guys understand? I'm going through a thing, and my wife and I have been separated for like 9-10 months now, and we're on that verge of probably divorce. Probably gonna get divorced after this, and we haven't been on good terms. We finally start talking and stuff. And that's the only thing that's important to me. I don't care if I can confess to nothing, pull a lawyer up, and I can just go through it like that. I have no problem with that either. I'm just saying, if I can benefit out of it, because to me it's one and the same. Whether I get found guilty of stealing a candy bar at Myers 10 years ago or what, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same amount of time. I've got 15 felonies. So I'm definitely, whatever I get found guilty, it doesn't matter to me if it's a murder charge or if it's a gun charge or if it's a shooting in my wife's house charge. I mean, any of that stuff. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have a problem confessing all of it because to me it's just going to get it over with faster anyway. But at the same time, I got one thing, that's my wife. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to hug her goodbye, I didn't get to kiss her goodbye yesterday, today. That's all I want to do. And make sure we're going to be all right, and that's it. And I don't care about any of the other stuff. All the other stuff's irrelevant. You You know what I mean? It's, after that, it's like, whatever. You know what I mean? It's all one and the same.
There are many factors involved behind a single crime. Although provoked by specific people and situations, there's always a string of situations which lead up to the act. Seeing the importance that Zachary is laying on meeting his wife also seems to be important. He mentions that they had split up 10 months ago. This only added to the trigger that was in Zachary's life. Meeting his wife seems like an act of closure, as he knows that he will not be seeing her a lot once he returns to prison.
I get it. I got the best lawyer in Grand Rapids, which is Frank Stanley, a good friend of mine. I'm just saying, you got a job to do, like, you know what I'm saying? I understand that. I respect that. I'm not trying. You guys didn't do nothing to me personally, so therefore I don't have no reason to be an asshole or no reason to be. I mean, I have every reason as an American citizen to be uncooperative and let the court system do this, but it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't to me no more. I mean, I'm arrested. I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison for one thing or another. You can charge me with all the charges you say you got right now, and then as time goes on, you got more charges because you guys don't even know about. So you can go. It's one and the same to me. You know what I mean? Like, I got 15 felonies. I'm getting charged with habitual, and it's 10 to 12 years minimum. To me, I'm 43 years old. I'll be 44. I've already did 21 years in prison. You know what I mean? Like, that's the rest of my life to me. I don't care. That's why I wasn't going to come cooperative. That's why I'm going to make you shoot me. I mean, that's not something I want to
I'm glad you didn't do that.
I mean, I'm glad for whoever had to shoot me. You know what I mean? That's whoever, it's not his fault. Go home and tell his dad or his son or whatever.
You still got a family that loves you too.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that's important to me. That's what I'm saying. So I'm doing this for one purpose. You got to know one purpose and one purpose only. And that's my wife. She begged me, and she said that it would be more important to her if I didn't do that. It would be hurt worse. But if I did come out and I wasn't gonna shoot y'all. You guys didn't do nothing to me. But I had to make you guys believe I did. You wouldn't shoot me. And to me, doing the rest of my life in prison or ending up dead, I'd rather be dead. I mean, just being honest. So to me, it made no difference. The only thing that stopped that from happening was my wife. So that's why that issue of me hugging her is important.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You probably owe her a bit of gratitude,
I owe
right?
her a lot of gratitude. Sure. I guess. I mean, not really. It's still to be determined. It's still to be determined. Because how is it going to go? I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison. To me, I'd rather you guys shot me. You do 21 years in prison and you tell me you want to go back there for a day, let alone the rest of your life.
I can't say that I've done that, right. So I can't.
Well, you haven't done nothing to deserve that either. You've been on the right side of the law. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that why me pity party, but that's my mentality. Just to let you guys know that's my mentality. You know what I mean? And anything I tell you guys or I'm going to tell you guys, it's factual. You can check it. It's going to be fact. And I don't have no reason to bullshit. Why? For what purpose? What am I going to gain? You know what I mean? I'm not. The only thing I got to gain is a hug from my wife, a kiss from my wife. That's it. It's the only thing I got.
Well, I'm hoping that she's going to agree to that. I think it sounds like she cares about you enough that it sounds like she will.
Zachary saying that he's already spent 21 years in prison and does not mind spending more time is not to be taken lightly. 21 years is a very long time, and someone who has only lived in the confines of prison tends to adjust to it. The organization and order of that institution almost becomes soothing to them. In the majority of cases, and especially when criminals go to prison at an early age, they feel more adjusted to the prison system than to the outside world. When they come out of those barbed walls, they maladjust and dive deeper into crime. It happens due to the additional stress they face and how unprepared they are for the real world. Zachary, too, was facing the same. He was living at the crime scene in the first place because he was taking shelter at the residence of the victims. This maladjustment is another major stressor that may have played a role in the crimes of this case. Though Zachary had refused to confess at this point, this would have been a good opportunity to attain small details about the case. Instead, Detective Brian will use this time as an opportunity to make small talk for over an hour while they wait for his wife to arrive.
Yep, she just got here. So she's, they went down to get her, and they're bringing her up right now.
Not ask her for any kind of particular recognition or thanks or anything. We're going to bring her in. I just want to make sure there's going to be no problems.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay, there's not. I just want to hug my wife and hug my son.
What about on her side?
No, she's not.
Okay. You understand where I'm coming from? She's got a baby in her arms. I don't want to get into any kind of predicament in here with anybody, okay?
I get you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Come on in, Arthur.
Stand up if you want.
Candy boy. Hi, Papas. Hi, Papas. I can't play it. Daddy have kisses? Oh, that's a good kiss. You playing your game?
Aww.
Is that a good hug? Hi, Papas. Aww.
Yeah, Daddy.
Daddy. Good daddy kisses. Thank you. Getting so big.
Yeah.
Loving our mommy. Mm-hmm. Loving our mommy. Can Daddy get a little love? Can Daddy get a little love? Get a bit. Oh. Daddy loves you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hello. I love you, silly guy.
Alright, guys, I hate to break it up, but we gotta do it now.
Alright. Thank you, guys.
You wanna?
Go ahead.
Bye, Papa. Bye. Bye, Bubba's.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. He's a cute little dude.
Thank you.
25 years, I've never done anything like that. Alright? Plus, we're men of our words, so I wish I could make it happen longer, but unfortunately we can't.
That's all I ask for. Thank you very much. Very appreciative.
He didn't want to kill two birds with one stone, so if you could send a detective in on your incident, or you guys all set?
I'll have him step in. Okay. We're just gonna escort her out, make sure she gets back to her truck safely and things like that, and then he'll pop back in here, okay? I don't know if she knows where she's at or where she's going down here, but we want to make sure that she gets in her truck and on her way, so he'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
I think your guy talked to her already, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Finally, the moment that everyone had been waiting for, Zachary's wife arrives. You can see the sheer joy and gratitude in Zachary's eyes. For the same reason, he will use sir to refer to the detectives for the first time. The detectives upholding their end of the deal to bring the wife will now shift the dynamics of the interrogation again. From this point, Zachary will fully cooperate with the investigation.
Back right by the fireplace or whatever, there's a bedroom right there to the right. You know what I'm talking about? And then to the left, there's a I guess it'd be a front room, a big ass front room.
It's almost like a family room.
Yep. And then so in the bedroom right there on the right, when you first go in, there's the only other bedroom behind the main floor. And so he kept waving the pistol. He'd come in with the pistol, he wouldn't wave it, like then point it at me. Like at one point, I think like the second time he came in or something, he kind of waved it towards me. I was like, don't point a fucking pistol at me or something. It's just kind of like a guy's like back and forth.
You know what kind of pistol it was?
Yeah, it was 38.
Okay.
So he comes in there with that, and he's like kind of waving it around.
What was you upset about? Because you had somebody.
Well, he thought I had somebody in there, but I didn't. And then I found out like the third time. I want to say it was the third time he came. He kept coming in there like, who's in here? And I was like, what the fuck? Like maybe 15, 20 minutes. Who's in here? I'd be half asleep, and I'm like, so like the third time or something in here, he's like, I know she's in here. I said, who the fuck are you talking about? And he said, yeah, which is like a girl that comes there every once in a while. It's she's messing with another biker or whatever, But he's kind of like her. He's kind of like infatuated with her, like kind of like want to look after. I don't know, like some weird thing. I don't know. He wasn't having sex with her, so I don't know, some weird thing. But if she stayed at night and stuff like that, sleep in the same bed and stuff. But anyways, like I know she's in here. I was like, man, turn on the light and look around. Like stop doing. Like I don't know what you're doing when you're bugging out. He said to himself, like I'm just must be bugging out. I must be bugging out. He's looking under the bed. He's looking all through some stuff, and I'm like, bro, where's she gonna hide at? Like, come on, dude, get a grip. And then, so I heard, I don't know, it was probably 15, 20 minutes later, I hear him talk to somebody out in the front, like, well, not the front room, but in B&B. When you first come in the door, there's a kitchen and like a big open dining room. And I hear him talking to somebody in there, which would be like, if you open my door, you'd be able to see right out there pretty much. So I like open the door and he's not talking to nobody. And I'm like, hey bro, who you out here talking to? And he was like, nothing, I thought I heard something out here. You sure there's nobody in there? And I'm like, yeah, there's nobody in there. And then he was like outside, I could hear him outside. And then, so I get up to come out there with him, and I'm like, what's going on out here, or whatever. And he was like, there's somebody out here, I know for a fact. I heard coughing over by the chicken coop. And so we had, anyway, we go over to the left side of the porch, which if you're facing out towards the road, would be the left side, and that's the way like the driveway and stuff's on that side. And there's a chicken coop, and we go over there and look over there, and then both of us go, him and I both go walk around. And then we go back into the house, and I lay back down, and I thought he was going to bed, because he's like, it must be bugging out, it's getting to me or something. He was like, what did he say, something like, I must be losing my mind, or these motherfuckers, or something about, they must think I'm losing my mind, they're not going to trick me like that, or something. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, never mind, just go to bed, So, I go back in and go to sleep, and, well, I don't know, half sleep, whatever, and then...
Do you know about what time it is?
When I went back in to go to sleep, or like what time when I woke up?
What all this...
And then, the other girl that was there, there's two other girls that was there. About 11:30, so Amanda left her mom's house, her boyfriend's, whatever. And then, so I want to say she was upstairs at the time, so I was wondering if he was like talking to her and stuff. And then, so that was, I laid down the first time about probably midnight, 12:30 or something. Yeah, I want to say he was like, I was gonna say he smoked a joint or something. But then I heard. So that kind of put me out, and then I woke back up to walk the grounds with him. I don't really want to know how to say. I looked at my clock, but it was probably 2 o'clock or maybe a little bit after, somewhere in that time.
Fair enough.
That we walked like just kind of like sweeping the ground to see if like who was out there, if anybody was out there or anything like that. And then I went, must figure out there was nobody out there, of course. I go back in. I don't know, it takes me probably not too long to get back to sleep because it was really late at this time. And I hear like 2 distinct gunshots downstairs. But that was after I heard a bang. I think that's what woke me up, like a, I don't know, like a bang, it wasn't a gunshot, but it was like a crash. And then I hear gunshots. I want to say 2 to 3. I want to say 2, then the third, like, it was like 2 and then 3. And by that time I had a gun. I kept it, a 40 cal. And I jumped out of bed with the 40 cal and cocked it. And he had a 38 in his hand, and he said, motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. And I thought he was talking about me. So I shot him twice, or 3 times maybe.
He was coming in the door? You shot?
Yeah, he was coming in the front door. And then he was yelling like something like, motherfucker, I'll kill you. Like, he was agitated for sure. And he had the pistol like drawn up. And so I shot him, and then
so 3 times?
I'm not sure. I'm having kind of fast and slow motion, like at the same time, like it was all like kind of a blur. So I shot him, and then like after I shot, it was a gun, but it wasn't. After I looked closer, I just know it wasn't a gun. He was coming out of the back, and so I turned towards him and shot him. Or at him rather, I don't know if I hit him the first time because he turned, and when he turned to like kind of get away, I kind of ran back towards him, and then I don't know if he was trying to raise the gun or what he was trying to do, but I shot him again. That was the one that was in the doorway, and then but it was kind of like far. I don't know, I'm trying to make it make sense because it all happened like a blur, like so fast, and then I remember shooting in his hand or whatever, and then recognizing that it wasn't a gun, and then like panicking, like looking around. and being like, you know, what the fuck? Oh my God, what the fuck? Now all my clothes and all that stuff in the back room, but I didn't, like, I was just thinking, like, I was gonna panic, like, what the fuck? So I went to run downstairs to see what the, you know, what the gunshots or whatever was downstairs, and that kind of up. And so I was like, behind that, I ran and I ran back upstairs. I went upstairs. She wasn't there, which kind of baffled me, and I didn't have no cover.
Who's this friend you said?
Yeah, that's the one that lives there with me.
Yeah.
I didn't have no ride or nothing, so I went back down to /keys or whatever off the table, and took his truck and just like drove away. And then after I got a little ways away or whatever, I called my wife and just told her that it was, you know, just trying to talk to her and stuff. And I didn't tell her what I did. I just told her I did something bad and that I didn't know what to do, and that you know, he already shot somebody. He was gonna shoot at me, or he shot at me, or something like that. I'm not. I mean, like I said, I wasn't there. I wasn't sure. I just know I heard a bang, but it wasn't a gun bang.
I got it.
And then I heard, so I mean, for sure two, like at least two. I want to say two and then a third, like a two and then a pause and then a third gunshot.
Do you think it knew what he was doing, or do you think he was like wigging out and thought it was someone who broke in?
Well, he'd been wigging out the whole. You know what I'm saying? He'd been wigging out like the whole night. He'd been like.
So you think he didn't know?
That's when I first heard the noise, you know, what's going on. And then I just kind of like, I seen that he was like on the steps to go down to his house. So I left, right? I mean, I went right back upstairs because the side door is right there, like where they push you out to the driveway. I left the door, I went out to go check on him. And I seen like, almost immediately, you know what I mean? Like I seen that he was on the steps. So I ran back upstairs to see.
So was he all the way up the top of the steps, or was he like halfway up?
I want to say like mid-step.
Okay.
I don't think he was all the way.
Was he conscious? Or?
No, he wasn't conscious. Like he had his face was opened up and stuff.
There is no balance when it comes to Zachary. Either he refuses to talk altogether or gives too many details. Some of the details he's giving are unnecessary. Detective's legs can be seen shaking, which means he's already getting restless. Though it seems the investigation has just started, but in reality, a few hours have already passed. The parts where they're waiting for his wife have been removed, so it makes sense that the detective is getting tired. However, it's his responsibility to get all the necessary information, regardless of exhaustion. It's also important to note here that Zachary talks about how the crime happened while he and the victims were under the influence of meth. The drugs he was on clouded his judgment to an extent that he thought that the victims wanted to shoot him, so he acted in self-defense. He adds that the guns may have just been pipes. While no one can testify to this, as there are no witnesses left, the drugs could have induced a paranoid and delusional state of mind in Zachary. And this, in the end, may have been the main stressor, or the biggest trigger that led to the crimes in this incident.
When you got the Grand Rapids were at 9 o'clock or so, where did you go?
Tried to go to his mom's house, and she wasn't home. And I tried to go to one of our mutual friends' house, and he wasn't home.
It was Sunday, for God's sake. Where was everybody at? Church?
I was thinking the same thing. It was early too. It was probably 10, because I sat there and talked to my wife for like an hour in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. Then this is after I went to Kent, and then was that after or before? No, it was before.
So then when you went all those three places, nobody's home. Where did you end up?
Right where you guys found me on 2nd Street.
Okay.
3rd Street. No. I went to a car park first off Post Drive. Parked there, but there's a lot of traffic coming in and out. So I didn't want to stay there. So I ended up going to.
Did you tell him what happened?
No. I just told him I needed to chill for a while. I needed to just get some sleep or somewhere peaceful. And he was like, "What's up?" And I told him I didn't want to talk about it. And he said, "Okay."
And did you tell your wife what you did?
No.
Okay. Just what'd you tell her?
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to get her in any trouble.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, anything to do with her at all.
The detective probably sees many criminals in his profession, so to say that he is intimidated by Zachary may be wrong, but he's clearly not making an extra effort to get answers. The detective seems too inclined to keep Zachary at a comfortable spot, because if he does not, then he might stop being cooperative. But this is no way to investigate a crime. Naturally, in an investigation when the suspect does not answer, the investigator has to push the questions, but Detective Brian simply backs off. This is only reinforcing Zachary to think that he's in control of this interrogation.
I don't want to get her in trouble, so I'm saying she did everything to try to help and try to make sure nobody else got hurt, and I didn't get hurt, so she's the reason I came in peacefully, so.
What happened to we didn't find a gun there, any other handguns?
You got both, you should have both guns by now. If they did everything they were supposed to do and they searched what they were supposed to, you got both guns.
So you took the other gun with you?
I took
38, okay. Where were they located?
Behind the blue couch in the...
Both of them?
Yeah, together.
Where did you get your 40 from?
I got it from a friend of mine.
Okay, did you buy it from him?
No, he gave it to me.
Okay. The 38, that was...
He's had it since I've known him.
Okay. How long have you had the 40?
Quite a while. I had a 9 and a 40, so I had it for like... When did I get rid of the 9? Like a month ago, maybe. So...
What did you all take after the incident happened? You took the wallet, the keys?
I just took the keys and the wallet, which were chained together, and that was it.
And the 38?
The 38 I took almost right away from...
Is that after you went back and shot him the second time?
No, I didn't go back and do that. I shot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I just
Did you hit anything that last time? The first two you obviously did, but after you shoot...
She was like saying, like he was still kind of like saying, like harmonium or whatever, so that's what made, like I was worried about, that's why I remember the gun in his hand and worried about that, like he was going to try to shoot me or something, so I shot him every time I grabbed him.
Do you think he hit him, or?
I'm not sure.
Did it shut him off?
Yeah, he stopped doing what he's doing, so.
You will slowly start to see a decline in Zachary's interactions. For him, this was a transaction. He gets what he wants, a hug and a pizza, and in exchange, he gives a confession. Police found 2 handguns at the Grand Rapids home where Zachary was arrested, a .40 caliber and a .38 caliber. Zachary had confessed these were the guns used in the shooting. He also told police he had taken Consular's vehicle and one of the victim's credit cards from the scene, using the card to buy gas on his way to Grand Rapids. Zachary Borton was arraigned on August 24, 2021 before Jackson County District Judge John McBain on 6 charges relating to the shooting, including 3 counts of open murder, 1 count for each victim, auto theft, unauthorized use of a credit card, and second offense of felon in possession of a firearm. Each charge of open murder carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. Zachary Borton will never show remorse. People like him are egotistically satisfied with themselves and their decisions. He does not see the lives he's destroyed with his actions. All he cared about was that his needs were met. The sad part is he got a detective that satisfied all his needs at a whim. Though he'll serve a sentence in prison for his crimes, maybe that is all he wanted all along. In that case, is it even punishment anymore? The only silver lining to this dark cloud is that another criminal is locked away from society. What do you think? Comment and share your thoughts on today's case. Like, share, and subscribe. And leave us the names of the cases you want to see next.